You already know what it is. Live, uncut, unedited. Tell the truth and shame the devil. I love being black. All right, this is your boy Martin G, aka the Crime Chaser. I'm live, uncut, and unedited. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Get this video out for me. Share this video. All right. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Whew. Another day's journey, and I'm so glad about it. Come on in, people. Come on in. Come on in. This is where we tell the truth and shame the devil. All right, it's good. It's good to be living. What's going on, Bridget Marie? I see you. I see you. I appreciate you. Don't think I don't. Appreciate you all guys coming on the screen. And it's just a blessing to be living in the land of the living. And I'm glad to be here tonight, able to come before you with the truth. So help me God, nothing but the truth. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Woo, make sure you tag someone. Make sure you tag someone. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, X, wherever you may be, it's all right with me. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. There's a lot going on in the town, people. There's a lot going on. It's a lot going on. This is Memorial Weekend. Starts today. We talked about it early this morning in the AM, and here we are now. We're in the PM. Yeah, thank you. Come on, guys. I need you to tag someone. What's up, E. Todd? I see you. Let's get it on. Let's get it on. We're gonna tell the truth and shame the devil tonight. We had a great discussion last night. We had a 2-part series, and it went well, and it was tensions up, but we got our message across. And I appreciate you guys for just tuning on in, being with me tonight. I need you guys to tag someone. If you're from some part of town, let me know where you at. Let me see where you at. If you're in Chicago, let me know you're here from Chicago. That'd be a blessing. Be a blessing. We want to let the world know about this podcast. We want to let them know. Real talk. And you never know but what you might see and what you might hear on here tonight, but I guarantee you it will be something on the table that you can use and take back. Southern Oregon in the house. That's what I'm talking about. Come on in, people. Come on in. I appreciate you guys for coming in my live. I've always say that. I always say that. You know, it's a gratitude. We're not on here begging. We're not on here finessing the people out of the money. We're not giving you a long drag story. Hey, my car got stolen with the equipment in it. You know, we're not doing things like that. We're making things happen. You know, yeah. If you don't pay the bill, I ain't gonna be able to come live, and you know, it is what it is. No gossip here. No gossip. Take that gospel to the other channels. I appreciate you guys all the time. Some of you guys, I see you at the flea market. I see you out in the public. I see you at the gas station. I see you downtown. I see you uptown. Wherever I may see you, I appreciate you. Appreciate you. And I'm so excited. Money Mike, I see you. Mike King, Northwestern Indiana in the house. Mike King, Arizona in the house. I'll tell you, it's showing the brother some love. Come on in, people. Show brother some love. Appreciate you. It's about love and support. Sometimes you might not have $1 or $2 to give a brother, but you can share his video. You know, you can do that. And that's appreciated. Yes. That's appreciated. And I do appreciate it. Yes, sir. I appreciate it. Mike King in the house. Rhonda Thomas. Aaron Goodman. Oh, I'm yawning. It's going to be a long night. I can tell that. E. Todd. All right. Aaron Goodman again. All right. Deborah Singleton. All right. All right, Bridget Marie. You was the first one on here tonight, I believe. Tracy Taylor. What's going on? I see you. I see my brother Louis Ramsey. It was good eating breakfast with you today, brother. I appreciate you. Appreciate the support and the love. And it goes a long way, people. We got so many people out here that is not doing what's right. They have no integrity. And we run to support people like that. We love it. We love to hear gossip. Gossip. We love to hear bad news about each other. Yeah, we warming up tonight. So come on here, people. Let's get on here. We got the phone lines are open. We're going to tell the truth and shame the devil. It's going to be an open conversation. Last night, we had a gender war on here last night. The ladies versus the men. And it was something. And men, we were trying to tell the ladies what we like. That's what we were trying to do. But, you know, Miss Stephanie Holmes. What's up, Miss Stephanie Holmes? It was good talking to you today. I appreciate you. I really do. Don't let nobody tell you that I don't. I do. Chill Will, what's going on? Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings. Charlotte Cowens. All right. What's going on? All right. Was that Bendaya? Oh yeah, we got a phone call coming already, boy. They own it. They own it. Raven Harris. What's up, Raven? Is that Stephen? South Holland's in the house. Bob. What's up, brother Bob? How you doing? All right. Yeah. All right. I'll tell you, it's going on tonight. I want to hear from you guys tonight. Let's talk. Let's be honest with each other, people. If we can't do nothing else tonight, let us be honest. Let us be honest. All right. My first caller has arrived. And I want to hear what my caller, 872 area code. Come on, caller. What's on your mind? What's your comments with you? Who this is?
This me, Robert Mark.
Oh, brother Robert, happy belated birthday, brother Robert. How you doing?
Thank you. And you know, I've been supporting you from the get-go. I appreciate the hard work you're doing. And I think today I just got kind of irritated. I had to call out this activist today. You know, she does, I'm not going to say her name, you know, everybody knows she's very demanding. You know, even when my niece died, you know, you, Marcus, and the other brother had showed up to the, you know, to the, not the repast, but to the balloon release.
Mm-hmm. I remember that.
Yeah. And, you know, and I think, and she said that she was there, and I told Marcus, I don't remember her being there.
Mm. Wow.
You know, and her last name is Ruff, R-U-F-F. You probably know.
I know. Tiffany Wilson. All right. Yeah, I know. Wow. I don't recall her being there either.
Like, yeah, and it's like, I don't do no mess, but it's like, you know, and I tell people, you know, I work nights, so it's hard for me to try to, you know, go to these events, and then this event, you know, and she got mad, you know, and that's why I made a big post, like, you know, I supported her throughout the years, but God just telling me I have to move on and do me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, I mean, it is what it is. Some people just out there just for the money and fame and news cameras.
Yeah.
And we all experienced that when we all did Kanika Jenkins.
Oh,
when
yeah.
they all stood up there in front of the news cameras and got that money, and I had to call it for what it was today. I didn't disrespect her. I didn't call her out her name. I told her, it's what God just told me to do today. You got to call a snake, a dog, a dog. You got to call it out.
Yeah, sometimes we have to call it out. Sometimes
Yeah,
we have
even when our young brothers and sisters are out here dying in gun violence, now you have people who want to chase crime, which you ain't seen them in the trenches in I don't know how long.
Mm-hmm.
I was telling my cousin today, there's only one original crime chaser who's been around. I'm talking about for years.
Mm-hmm.
Now you got these new people. Now you got these new people that I don't even know out of the moon, and I'm not even following them.
Mm-hmm.
And I told one I told Justin plenty of times, you playing with real fire out here, brother.
Mm-hmm.
Playing with real fire out here, And I told him I don't wish bad on nobody, but the way he going, we gonna end up going to his scene. I don't never want that to happen to anybody.
Yeah. Yeah, well, sometime, brother, when people chasing clout and looking for accolades, it's gonna show, brother. It's gonna show who's real and who's not real, and all that genuine concern for the community. One thing I know about people will know in their heart who really cares about the community. It is show.
Exactly.
So I'm not out here chasing the girls and the little boys and taking advantage of people, and you don't hear my name ringing out and all that mess. It's just not going on. No, brother, I don't get down like that. I'm for real. My reputation, it speaks for itself.
Like I told Marcus today, me and a couple of people on bikes. I mean, we don't just ride our bikes. We ride through the neighborhood, spreading love. As y'all need us, we out here. Y'all good. We just want y'all to keep the peace. You know what I'm saying? So we can resolve this madness. Because the only thing the mayor is doing, he's just playing politics.
Yeah.
Because we already know about the curfew thing. And I told somebody, in my opinion, y'all don't want black kids downtown, but y'all got the white kids downtown at Lollapalooza tearing downtown up.
Mm-hmm.
And people don't even know. And I was telling somebody, people don't know what's going on. Man, our people better wake up quick.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they have these laws to control black people, call themselves putting us in our place, checking us. And if we don't follow laws or rules, we go to jail. And the white people do the same crime, and they don't get, and they get a different punishment. Trust me, a softer punishment.
Slap on the wrist.
Slap on the wrist. And my thing, man, is they pay other black people to prosecute other blacks. And the first thing another black person say, I'm just doing my job. These are the rules. I'm just doing my job. There are exceptions to any rule. And we see it when it come to white folks. We see it. But they don't like this black and white talk. They don't like it. They don't like it, brother. They don't like it, Robert. They don't like, because I tell the truth. And this is what it's all about, man. The community, we need transparency. Some of you out there, you wouldn't do nothing for nobody if you didn't have no grant money. You slicking people out of money. You mishandling funds. You doing all types of things with the money.
Mm-hmm.
You going shopping with the money. You buying new vehicles with the money, and buying property with the money, buying stocks with the money. You're stealing. You're stealing. That's what you're doing.
Mm-hmm. And I've been saying that for the longest.
Robert, we know an activist, and I'm not going to say his name. You used to work with him a lot, and he stole a lot of money. A lot of money. You don't hear from him or see from him no more. He out of there.
Mm-mm.
You don't hear from him. You don't see him on social media every now and then. People, when you get a hold to this grant money, do the right thing. Do the right thing.
Exactly.
Do the right thing. Just do the right thing. And folks, hold on. We got Marcus.
Joined.
Mr. Marcus.
Oh, that's my brother right there, Marcus.
Mr. Marcus, what's going on with you?
What's going on, Martin? I kind of came into I saw you on Facebook, and I don't know exactly what your topic is, but I did hear my name mentioned through Robert.
Yeah.
And it was in a good way.
Yes, it was.
So,
it's always gonna be a good way.
If I may, I just want to talk about something that's on my mind.
Let us have it.
What's going on in this city? First of all, as you all know, I'm a photographer, photojournalist here in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think that your own family, meaning Black people, they don't treat what's in front of them the right way. And what I mean by that is, here I am, an award-winning photojournalist. I'm not just saying it. I am actually that. Won the Windy City Word an award with the help
Hold
of
on, ma'am.
So,
I'll call on you in a minute. We got somebody before you, okay? Just hold on. All right.
And so I guess what I'm trying to say is we don't utilize the tools that's in front of us. Even my own family. Here I am, a professional photographer, and you'd rather hire somebody to do your mother's 80th birthday party when I'm offering to do it for free. I'm not just running around here saying, hey, I'm this photographer. I earned it. And here I am shooting for a newspaper. Know a lot of political people by face and name. But we as Black people, we don't utilize our own people until it's too late or until you see somebody up there on the grand stage. Why should you have to wait to see anybody on a grand stage to take them seriously? And then why should somebody have to pay you to do what is right in your neighborhood? Why are these people out here grabbing grants? It don't take a lot of money to get the kids off the street. All you have to do is go where they at and meet them where they at. Now, I do know that it takes money to take them on field trips, feed them, and do all that. But I'm talking about these people who are really in it for the money, and they're not in it for the long haul. Stage protests, people who go out here and say, down with the racist cops, and behind closed doors, they shaking hands with them. What's wrong with us as a people? White people are sitting back and they loving to see us fight each other. They loving to see us tear each other down. They loving it. And they already saying we don't stick together. We talk about Black businesses, but we don't treat our own people right. We don't do business right by our people. Some of us always are trying to find a way to get over on other people because of their kindness. We label them slow, a clown, weirdo, because of their kindness. But do you know the story behind why they're kind? You don't know the story. It's the real reason why some people choose to be kind and not act a fool with quote-unquote fools, because you ain't going to win arguing with a fool. The best way to treat them is to treat them silent and feed them with a long-handled spoon and treat them the way they want to be treated by the way they treat you.
Okay.
When are we going to stop acting like this as a people and come together?
Okay.
Do stuff from the heart. Don't do it for the money.
That's right. We can't help it. We got couple more callers, Marcus. I'll come back to you guys. Let me get this last. Right. I got two more callers. 4703, last four digits. Come on, caller.
Hey, Martin.
Hey. All right. Oh, Doc Sanders. Hey, okay. How you doing? I'm like, okay, I recognize this number. I don't have call ID on here, so I had to kind of like remember the numbers. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh yeah. No worries, no worries. Yeah, I agree with what Miss said. When it comes to those grants, if I may, Martin, for a minute, the grants are non-taxable dollars given to you to be able to utilize for whatever services or programs that you would like to provide for the community. A lot of people do get greedy and they want to cut themselves something, but this is why the grant applications that I have helped a lot of organizations get, including churches, they ask you for specifications of what are you using it for, and you have to give an account of that. I did do a grant for St. Paul Community Developmental Ministries, which is Bishop Louis Henry Ford's one of his organizations that he had orchestrated prior to his passing. And I did learn how to do it with the workforce of office development under Evelyn Matosho. And she showed me how to get the grant for the church to be able to pay for the children that were working during the summertime. And the money, I have to say, was not misused because you have to report that back. When you learn what they're for, then you know what to do and how to do it. A lot of people don't understand that because, you know, if you really want to come together as a community, you can build your own, you know, by contributing to what you want to do if you don't want to apply for the grant because there's a lot of strict rules. Helping our communities, yeah, it's important, especially in the Black community. I was sharing with one of the ladies yesterday coming home from our convention, and she didn't know how what certain things meant in the community with markings and shoes over the wire and all that kind of stuff. We had to complain to get the shoes removed off the wire because it meant drug territory. You know, you can find there's a dealer in the area. When we start literally loving one another, that's the main thing. It's the love. And the Bible says the love of men has grown wax cold. We've got to learn how to love. Love is important. And the Bible tells us that we have to do what, Martin? First of all, love them that are around us all the time. We don't love their sin, no, but we have to learn how to love one another. I was looking on TikTok and I'm seeing a lot of young men. One young man killed his girlfriend, killed the baby, and now you're serving 200 some years in jail. He was Black. Why are you killing a baby? I can't have you. Won't nobody. That's craziness. The love is gone. We got to come back to love and know what love is. You know, Martin, if you can't stay somewhere, and I'm not being funny, I don't want nobody gossiping and saying nothing outside of what I'm saying. I'm saying this loud. If Martin say, Dr. K, I need to lay my head on the couch for a month or two to get myself, my door is open. That's what we do for one another. Not, well, oh man, I just have to figure that. No, because if I know I don't have no money to put you up in a 5-star, I got 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom homes. We got to learn how to love.
Amen.
Other.
Yep.
We got to. Because we're not going to make it to heaven if we don't do the basic. And let's love one another. And then speak up for each other. Speak up. Talk. We need the men to speak for us as women. We need the men to speak for our children, to build the families. We need to see these things and love and speak against. I'm trying to leave, and I'm not going to say, I'm going to say it, Martin. Beat me up later. I'm trying to get out of the University of Chicago. Why? My boss is racist, and my coworker is racist. And it takes every bit of God and the Holy Ghost for me not to put nobody in the Alfred Hitchcock wall. I'm serious. It is demonically. She's Puerto Rican and she feels she married a Black man. I'm just as better than you. No, you're not. No, you're not. They will set you up at the University of Chicago. Oh, I said it. I ain't scared of nobody. They will set you up. They will The cameras that are broke, they fix them because they want to nail you as a black person. I'm telling you what I know, ain't what I heard. So, and it's hard. We need black hospitals. We need black hospitals that have trauma centers. With black doctors, black nurses, black surgeons, black therapists, black MRI directors and managers. We need it.
Yeah, I'm live. Yeah.
We need it. We gotta have black clinics.
Yeah.
With right standards. So we gotta pull together because I wore out at my age. I'm too old for all the nonsense.
That's so true.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Dr. Sanders, hello, my name is Robert, and I hear what you're saying. And I'm also involved in the ministry at my church. I'm on a street ministry team at the Salem Baptist Church in Chicago, and I also do and I'm on a prayer team. We go out every Wednesday before Bible study. We go in the Roseland area and we pray for the whole community every Wednesday. We've been doing this for years.
Okay.
And God I'll cut you off. And God has given me that gift just to pray for people because the devil is really busy today. He's busy.
Yeah, you're on the job.
Dr. Sanders, if I may, it's two universities of Chicago. Which one? Well, maybe I'm wrong. One of them is the University of Illinois, and one of them is the University.
UIC.
That's on Taylor Street. The one that used to be Circle Campus. The one I'm at is the University of Chicago at 57th and Maryland.
Oh yeah, that's historically racist. They've been racist for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody in Chicago, if they don't know that is historically racist.
Yes.
And I can imagine what you're going through. I can only imagine what you're going through.
Yes.
And these folks who call themselves the Jews, they run that. And they run the one over on west of Halsted too, Circle Campus, which it used to be. They racist too. They gave my sister a hard time going to UIC. She ran the UIC plain paper. And they are historically racist too. I mean, what area in Chicago that isn't racist? And then here we are as black people, we prejudice toward our own kind. You got the blacks who got the money, who look down on the poor blacks, who make jokes about people being on Link and SSI, not wondering how they got there and why they're there. Until we clean that mess up, we're going to be in a bad shape because Trump up in there cutting everything. He on the cutting war. He after black people. He ain't after them other people. He after black people.
And Marcus, let me tell you something. I'm giving you the heads up because they're in the process of building the new cancer center right across the street from the CCD building, and how the treatment of patients is ridiculous. You know, I have to literally calm down quite a few of the patients that come because in my position, there's no elevation. And that's why I'm fighting to get out because of the fact that a lot of the patients, Marcus, do not even know why they're taking these tests. Well, what is the length? Well, why am I taking it? And if for some reason, they're not explaining thoroughly to these patients why they need to have all these examinations. And then they want them to go on their phone and get my chart. A lot of older people don't have time to be learning about no technology. They are in their retirement age. They ain't thinking about all that stuff. But it's how they talk. And the coworkers that I work with, literally, I mean, seriously, they will set you up. That's how demonic it is. That's how demonic it is. And that's why I'm fighting to get out. Because Martin already know. I didn't have no problem with CPS when CPS did something to my son, and I came out. That's how nasty I can get. Because everybody in my department do what they want to do, and my manager, when he does show up, I've never said anything about them little trifling texts that he had under his watch. They would talk about the patients. Patients would come out and say, I don't want that tech no more. They are nasty. Their attitude is very just out of this world. And I've never told my manager that. I held my peace and said, God bless him. And I told my manager, I never told your people on you about your folks. Well, there's nothing wrong with telling me. Yeah, it is. Because you have everybody watching each other like dogs. So now everybody's trying to figure me out why she is not like she was before. You know why? Because you pissed me off now. You pissed me off. But I'm a silent pissed off. Yeah.
Yeah, let me 872-299-0808, 872-299-0808, or 872-297-6389. We're just telling the truth and shame the devil. So whatever's on your heart tonight, if it's the workplace, if it's your profession, whatever it is, you know, we all got trials and tribulations that we must go through. And we got to fight them. You know, I was saying, I believe last night, some days it rained, some days it snowed, some days it's cloudy, and some days the sun just shines so bright. The weather is so perfect and everything. And life is like that. Life is like you can go through the storm, and the day before everything would seem like it was perfect, shining perfect. The wind was perfect, everything. But storms do come in our lives, people, and we have to go through these battles. I don't believe that none of us have a perfect life where we don't have no trouble or no trauma or something. And we have it. And I don't care what type of lifestyle we live in, a righteous lifestyle, even a bad lifestyle, we still going to have some trauma that's going on with us in our life. And I believe we all can write a book about our life, what's going on in our life story. And again, we were talking about, Robert started saying that it was a certain activist said that the activist supported him, but he didn't see the activist as a relative thing. I didn't see her either. But people, what are we, these same people, we go and talk about them, but we still follow them. We still patronize them with our monies and all that. You got to show people. Mm-hmm. You got to, listen, I'm supporting those who support me. I'm no longer being this Mr. Nice Guy anymore. It's over for me, Dr. Sanders. It's over for me. Person come on my live telling me how great a job I'm doing. I follow you, but I've never seen you make a comment. I never seen you share a video of mine. I've never seen you like a video of mine. How do you support me? In what way? I don't even know you exist. You're on my page. You taking up space. Go ahead, Marcus.
I just want to put this
Tell
out
the
here
truth
because
and shame the
it's
devil.
been on my mind. You know, people take advantage of your kindness. They take your kindness for slowness. I don't know what that is, because people call people slow because they don't act the way they feel they should act. And maybe some of the way some of you all act that's out there that do that, maybe y'all acting slow to me. But I want to say this. My mother was taken to this place, this crematory place out in Chicago Heights. It's been in the news. And they owned by white people. It doesn't matter if you got life insurance or don't got life insurance. You really need to go beyond, if you're going to a funeral home with your loved one, go beyond it and see what second party or third party that they use to help them with those bodies. Because the way these people were did, my mother was brought to this same place. And if they were done like that, stored in semi-tractor trailer trucks with no refrigeration while they waited on the state to give them permits to start cremating people, I'm quite sure my mother was did the same way. And it's a total disrespect to the families who trusted this company with their loved ones. No, the souls may not be in the body, but it's the principle of the thing. And no amount of money, no lawsuit, it's not going to make you feel right. One lady got the wrong remains. It It makes all of us who had our people taken out there wonder, do we got the right remains? And the state should be held accountable as well for what happened out there at Chicago Heights Crematory. This is why it's important that Black people come together and quit hating on each other. These are the things that we need to be protesting and shutting down. And we need to be on the states behind. We need to be on our Black politicians who come into our neighborhood and shake hands, take photographs. These are the same people who are making agendas to oppress us even more. I don't care if we know them and been knowing them. I don't care if they grew up in Inglewood or Auburn and Gresham or Chicago Heights or Washington Park area, and they look like us, but they ain't acting like us. Chicago is run by Black people. So is the state of Illinois. It's a lot of Black people in high positions that's making decisions, but they ain't making decisions for their own people. But we always got to include other people when we're talking about our own people. Harold Washington, people talk about him. A lot of Black people try to talk bad about him, but he did as much for this city as any other mayor could have ever dreamed of doing. And we sit back. Brandon ain't perfect. I get that. I voted for Brandon too. And I'll vote for him again before I vote for somebody white in that city hall seat. Because these white people want Chicago. They already got it, but they want to finish what they started. And the University of Chicago has been historically known for planning Black communities and pushing Black people out of their neighborhood. We have got to come together, whether it's a cremation, whether it's a cemetery that's doing our people wrong. We have got to come together. And when we say we shut stuff down, don't wait till everybody getting off work to shut it down. Shut it down while they're at work. That's how you're going to get tempers raised up. Shut it down while they're shopping. Shut down the baseball games. Shut down the hockey games. Shut it down because they're raising the tickets so high. They don't want your black butt going to those games. They don't want to sit next to you. They want you to work them like a slave, but they don't care about you. Let's quit worrying about LeBron James and all these other celebrities who ain't done nothing for the black community, but coming to the black community just for a photo op to say they gave a little something. There are people struggling out here. There are people with no lights or gas on and got kids, and you wonder why these kids riding the train robbing people. I don't agree with it. And then you got a president that's going to cut Medicaid, the link, and they really going to be walking in the stores robbing people to eat, to survive. What are you all thinking that support this? There are black people who support this and say, well, the Democrats was doing it anyway. Neither party is on our side. A lot of Republicans are Democrats hiding behind a Democratic mask. My mother used to say Daley was a Republican hiding behind a Democratic mask. Look at what he did to this city. Look at what he did to this city. Where was these grant-grabbing activists when Mayor Daley was in office, allowing the police to beat up and brutalize black people, write bogus tickets on their cars, take their cars? Where was the activists then when Daley was in office? They talk about Brandon Johnson. Brandon Johnson and Lori Lightfoot inherited what Daley and Rahm Emanuel started.
Richard J.
Yep.
Richard J. Daley.
Oh, yeah. And some black people love him. Love his dirty draws because he put money in their pocket. A lot of ministers supported him. A lot of black media supported him. Money.
I know one of them.
Your own grandkids out. You sold your own grandkids out. And now you're wondering why your grandkids out here riding the train robbing people. Jacking cars. Because y'all sat there and sold them out.
Marcus, you remember Mayor Belantic?
Yes. Oh, my mother went off on me. I was going to Burnside School, Dr. Sanders, and I'm a little boy. I didn't know better. They gave us a free shirt, and I'm wearing it. I run with Belantic. My mother tore that shirt off of me and said, boy, and she wasn't too crazy about Jane Burns, but when Harold Washington ran, woo, yeah, she taught me politics at a young age. So They say I could have led the parade because I was for Harold ever since I was a little boy. And I think he was the greatest mayor this city ever had. I don't care what nobody, they can call in and say the bad things about Harold Washington. He was the best mayor this city ever had. Even the white, even the most racist white reporters will tell you that he was the best mayor this city ever had. He was the best mayor. And people will caution me if I say Obama. To me, this is my opinion. I don't know much about Obama. But to me, he was the most intelligent president that ever set foot in the White House. That's just my opinion.
He got rid of Obama. And that's right, because a lot of young people, Martin, in the 20s and 30s and 40s, they weren't around when we was here. They didn't live that era. When Harold Washington was, okay, I'm just going to say it. I'm sorry, Marcus. Y'all got to crucify me. He was killed.
Yes. He was. I believe it.
He was killed.
And when I was in 8th grade,
he was killed.
They murdered him.
That man had no health problems. He was murdered. They poisoned him.
Yeah.
His brother went in the court and literally did not want it to, because he did not want this city to be torn up. So when the young people don't understand what we're talking about, we're not being hateful. We lived that era.
We lived it.
We went to the funeral. We went to we went to Cove Church. We went to City Hall to see our black mayor in a casket. Insulted my intelligence.
We saw the city council wars. We heard them call him the N-word.
Yes.
We heard them come on TV.
Marcus, do you remember when that nut put him in a bathing suit and had
that black artist. And Dorothy Tillman then went up there and ripped that thing down and threw it.
Yes, they sure did. I remember that. Clear as daylight. I remember that.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
They made fun of him. And this is what we're trying to get to our young people. And young people, I'm not fussing at you, but you need to get somewhere and sit down and listen. We lived it. For us to see our own to be painted in panties and a bra and hung up at the Racist Art Museum of Chicago. When the next time y'all want to go on a field trip, ask them, where's the painting of Mayor Harold Washington?
And Dr. Sanders, you remember when the chief of the fire department resigned and the chief of police resigned because he knew Harold was going to fire both of them? They were both white. They resigned. This is how racist this city is. And these black kids running around here talking about they don't care. You better study politics in Chicago because it can quickly repeat itself real fast.
You better ask somebody. You better ask
It ain't been too long ago. The 80s wasn't too long ago. It wasn't
Marcus.
years ago. And it can still repeat itself. And people saying Harold didn't do nothing. Go out in the alley and look at the garbage receptacles in your alley.
Well, let's
the
take
black
it from the
community was the first to get them.
Where was the first affordable housing under his administration? Over here on 47th Street.
Yeah.
The day that he died was when they broke ground. See, we were there. We saw it all.
And Dr. Sanders, not to cut you short, the word I want to use, they were so sneaky with it. I remember going to the washroom. I was going to Bond School in 8th grade. And the teachers were saying, I was passing two teachers in the hallway, and they were saying, isn't that terrible what they did to the mayor? I was unaware then that the mayor had a heart attack. I didn't get the word until I came home because it wasn't announced over the intercom in the school. Had it been, it would have been a riot. They know it would have been a riot. We weren't stupid. They wanted to convince us that he had a heart attack. We was not stupid. We knew.
I remember that.
We knew they killed him.
Ray, that's why Ray said, I don't want another Martin Luther King war, because the city would have been torn apart.
It wouldn't have been a Chicago.
You got to remember, when Dr. King got killed, the West Side was the one that got hit the hardest. Never came back from that.
Never.
You know, it wouldn't have been a Chicago. It got out there like that. It wouldn't have been a Chicago. Chicago would have had a second fire.
You talking about Mrs. O'Leary's couches over the bus, so they say? Their side was came down.
They burned it down because what they won't tell you is that black people were downtown in Chicago. That's why they burned it down.
That's right.
Dr. Sanders and Marcus. Dr. Sanders probably can remember more than Marcus. Remember all on around Cermak, it was a lot all blacks down there. 21st Street, 22nd, all blacks down there. Where you see all this stuff building up. Nothing but blacks. They push them out.
Nothing but blacks.
Nothing but blacks.
That's it.
Yeah.
And my thing is, this is why this generation needs to listen. Yes, you know, I may sound like Jasmine Crockett, but let me tell you something. It's fact. When we lived something, we lived it, and it affected all of us. When Ben Wilson was killed, that was the worstest crime we could ever face as young people in high school.
And they killed him.
And they killed him
because he was talented. They didn't want they don't want their kids looking up to. Look at what they did with Michael Jordan. They don't want their kids looking up to no black player. That's why they go overseas and get these white players and try to get them hyped up. But black people master everything that they try to create. We created basketball. I dare somebody to do the research, and they'll find out that a black person invented basketball. We made this country. So for any white racist
Tell the
person
truth
listening to this broadcast,
and shame the devil.
Oh, tell us to go back to Africa. Go back to the caves that you crawled out of. Because you didn't do nothing. You didn't even know how to do nothing. We built this country. We built it. We're the cooks. We're the carpenters. We're the plumbers. We everything. And if we leave America, it won't be in America.
That's right. That's right. And you know what, Marcus? I'm gonna say this. Lord help me, Jesus. Holy Ghost, keep me. Let me tell you something. For you all that are Hispanic, Mexicans, Puerto Ricans, let me help you out. Don't you ever think that you're like us, because you will turn and hurt us. I've seen you do it.
Yep.
The demon in you will do it. You don't like black people, but you'll marry a black woman or a black man. You're not getting any better. You are not. We don't come to your country. We don't come over there and take it over in your country. You come over here, you give us respect. We'll treat you right if you would give us respect. And white people got to understand this. We're not going to run anymore. We're going to fight you tooth and nail. This time, we're going to do it the way it should have been done. They praise you out. We're going to help you get out.
That's right. Let's go to the new caller, people. The board jumping now. It's jumping. Area code 206. Hey, caller. You're live, uncut, unedited.
Hey, man.
What's going on?
Hey, man. What's going on, man? All right. You know, 206. You know, I'm born and raised in Hyde Park, south side of Chicago, man. In Harold Washington. I remember when he died, but I was going to over there on Blackstone Avenue, Lewisburg.
I know what is that.
Yeah. Over there. They changed the name, I think, though. But the thing is, with Brother Washington, he had a brother police officer that was his assistant. Every morning, brought him a newspaper and orange juice. But now check it out. It's not funny, but the one day the brother didn't, for some reason, the brother wasn't there, and somebody else brought him his newspaper and orange juice.
David Orr.
He died within.
David Orr. Go ahead.
David Orr.
Yeah.
That brought him the thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he died within a half hour of him bringing it to him, right there at his death. I think it was Thanksgiving or Thanksgiving Eve.
Yeah, Thanksgiving Eve.
Right,
yeah.
It was November.
I remember it like it happened last week. Damn shame, man.
Yeah. Well, see.
Yeah, but I just wanted to add,
brother, you're so right. Let me just say this: anytime a person of our complexion that is great and reach for the masses is a problem that goes against the dominant white society. So if you're watching the media, you'll think that black people are the only one commit crime. If you watch the media, you think black people are the only ones out here fighting. Man, they love exploiting our ills. They love it. It makes the news. They love when they catch one of us speaking Ebonics to the news. They love to catch one of our politicians that is not so bright and that's dirty. They love it, brother. They love it. They love it to make us look bad.
Yeah,
See, they feel good about themselves when they put us down.
Yeah, that's a shame, ain't it?
That is a shame,
Your
man.
self-image, your self-image is based on you beating down on somebody else. That's a sorry SOB, man. That's a sorry person. That's a person who damn near the world would be better off if they just went somewhere and just stayed there and stayed away from everybody else. Because that's just evil. And that's how they are. You hit it right on the button. And if people say, well, they should teach the children, they teach. No, because they like that every generation. It's their nature to be that way. It ain't nothing they learn. It's their nature. They want to say we evil. They've been, let me say this, I'll shut up. They've been that way throughout their history. They ain't changing. It's who they are. Go ahead.
Yeah, well.
So you're right. They want to say we evil.
Hold it, brother. Elijah Muhammad, bless his heart, he's dead now. He said they tried to do good, and they can't. It's just not in them. They tried. Yeah. It ain't in them. It's just not in them, brother. Sister, it's not in them. We got Mr. Sergeant, 912. Come on, Mr. Sergeant. Thank you for holding.
Oh, hey, what's going on, man?
Man, I'm glad to be living. We talk about that old Chicago history. Go ahead.
Yeah, I heard some, and I'm sitting here like, as a Ben Wilson, that's like, how can that be correlated to racism?
No, I don't think that was correlated. No, I don't think that was. No, that was not correlated to racism. Go ahead, Doc Sanders. Yeah.
I'm not into that. I mentioned Ben Wilson's tragedy of his death. It was historically a horrible moment for us, for one of ours to be taken out.
Yeah.
At that time. We have not heard that in our time, that kind of situation. I did not say anything about race. I said, when we found out he was killed, that hurt us. We all came together. Everybody pulled together. Because my school, which is Dr. Martin King Junior High School, and Simeon were rivals on the court, but they were friends after the court. So I made that point, Sergeant.
Okay, well, the shooters went to my alma mater, Calumet High School. And when it happened, there was supposed to be a dance that I was DJing for, and it got canceled. So that messed up my money. Okay? So if we want to get into who know what about whatever, okay? Right. Then you had a retaliatory shooting at Calumet High School of some Simeon students right after that. So now, when I was talking about what I was talking about, I heard someone say they don't want us to worship a black ball player.
You heard me say that. I believe you heard me say that. And I can tell you I stand on that because I shoot the Bulls and I see how they treat their own players. What it is these white people, they don't want their kids looking up to these ball players. They can get so high in the league. They don't want their kids worshiping black ball players. That's why they're going overseas grabbing the white ball players to replace the Michael Jordans and all of them. Derrick Rose, I mean, you would have to went to the game to see it, but he really didn't want to be there to be honored. He was glad to get the hell up out of there. And he said he was done with that. That's an old chapter of his life. He becoming a businessman.
Okay,
they coach. Okay. So I'm just saying.
We understand all that, but where does that correlate with Ben Wilson?
Ben Wilson, back in them days, the gangs was really bad here in Chicago, right? So I remember this happening. I was a little boy when it happened, but I remember it happened because my cousin went to Calumet, and she came home before it even hit the news and said that Ben Wilson was killed. He knew the boy that killed him. And it was supposed to have been over some girl. He said something to his girl or something. And Ben Wilson responded back to him, and he shot Ben Wilson. Now, I'm real young. Now, I'm just looking at the bigger picture of this. That young man was talented. He could have went on before even been a Michael Jordan. Ben Wilson would have been better than Michael Jordan that he lived. Now, that's just my opinion. It don't mean
okay.
that
I mean, I understand all of that, but like I said, the correlation with racism. I'm not saying
just saying that they killed him.
I'm not saying. Okay, well, white people were mentioned, so if white people were mentioned and something to do with whites, and then something said negative. There you go. I mean,
let me say, Sarge,
Sergeant.
I don't know when you came in. Everything is not about racism. All the topics that we were talking about. Let me just say, Dr. Sanders shared some things that she was going on at her job. She shared, she shared some things that was going on in her job. So Harold Washington, we believe that he was killed by white people. We believe that.
Yep.
I believe that.
Yeah, I believe he was murdered too.
Yeah, so
set the stage for Daley to come in office.
Right. Well, I had personally,
that I totally believe.
Harold Washington's nephew, he passed away. Used to be a paraprofessional at Fisk Elementary School, right where I live, and he told me, he said they murdered him, and he said Ray went into court. Now, this is what his nephew told me to my face, because my children were students there. He said he went into court because it was found out that he was murdered. He did not. His brother told the judge, "Do not let this get out," because he did not want the city to go in an uproar. Now, his nephew told me that, and that man would not have no reason to lie. Because everybody kept saying, "Oh, he had bad heart, he had high cholesterol," and they was making up all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He was a big eater. He was all that stuff. That's what the media put out there. They put it out there and had everybody thinking, "Oh, well, we got to think about our heart disease." No, they have been doing the same thing for decades of his life. And one little moment, in the darkest part of Thanksgiving season, he's dead. And a lot of young people don't know. We lived it. I was already out of high school when he died. It bothered me. I was crying because I looked up to him. Matter of fact, let me help you out. In the 80s, I used to work downtown in the politics area at the time when I was working with Philip Roth and Mike Madigan, which a whole lot of folks don't know about Philip Roth or Mike Madigan. Some of them do know about him now. But my uncle, Clarence McLean, was best friends with Harold Washington. So I know my facts of what I learned myself by observing politics. I went to the Black Caucus Convention. I saw Harold Washington in a lot of places. But it bothered me because the man stood for us. He fought for us. The day that he dug for the new affordable housing over here on 47th Street, that was in the neighborhood. I grew up at 4413 Berkeley, which is not too far from where it is. Berkeley is a short street from 46th to 41st.
Dr. Sanders, if I may, he gave up his paycheck to get the Chicago Public Schools off strike in 1987. Correct me if I'm wrong. I was in 8th grade.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
That's what got him off strike. And correct me if I'm wrong with this. A lot of black politicians today fail because they don't know how to campaign like Harold Washington did. Harold didn't just go in the rich neighborhoods. And he didn't just go to the big mega churches. He went to everybody on the street corner. He went into the trap houses, the dope dealers. He shook hands with everybody.
He campaigned in the dope house.
I mean, he did. He came in the ghetto.
No, he did. I know he did.
He did. He came.
Yeah, because the thing about it, he loved us. They didn't like him. They didn't like him. That year, I don't know if you all remember on the radio, that year, that's when Anita Baker and the Winans came out singing, "Ain't no need to worry, but the night's gonna break. It'll be all over in the morning." And to this day, when I hear that song, it takes me back because I didn't ever think I would live to see one of us get killed. But we don't want to talk about it.
We're
These
afraid.
young people don't know history. They don't know. Are you all looking at what we're dealing with? We came into this life that we're living with a pandemic that took out a lot of people.
A lot of elderly black people.
1926, the Spanish pandemic, it killed folks. And we sitting here right about all this other junk. Look what's happening. Got people taking COVID shots and COVID phase 2 and COVID phase 3, RSV and ABC and TIE and all this stuff. You want to fight somebody, fight the freaking White House. Remove the government. Overturn that. Stop the murderers. Stop the killings. Pull these guns off the market. You want to go there? We want to pick up with each other over well, why? No, I'm going to tell you. Because we don't have love. That's where it starts. And if you ain't got no love, you shouldn't say anything.
Let me say this too. I believe our problem is we're afraid to admit that the white man is the enemy of the black man. Because when you point out the enemy, then we're afraid we have to fight then. And some of us don't want to fight. We don't want to fight, brother.
That's right.
We want to fight. We want to go on and pretend like we don't see it. And like I said, let me quote again. I'm not saying that a black man or a black woman cannot be great in America. That is not what I'm saying. You could be a lawyer, doctor, Indian chief, whatever you want to be here in America. But as a group, they're not going to allow that. As a group, they're not going to allow that. A lot of us are doing well here in America individually. But as a whole, we're losing. We're on the bottom of every statistic. HIV, AIDS, high blood pressure, diabetes, cancer, abortion. All these things are socially engineered. We have an enemy, people, whether we want to believe it or not. Now, if this doesn't apply, if you white, let it fly. I'm not saying that every white person hate black people. I'm not saying that. I could, listen, you got some little children that's born, they don't know nothing about no hate. You got some senior citizens that's white people that's senile. They don't know nothing about white and black. They don't know nothing. Their mind gone. So what I'm saying is, people, we have a natural enemy. Every other ethnicity, race, know their enemy. Know their enemy.
That's right.
And we know, we see it. Go ahead, sir. 206, go ahead.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but that the fear to admit that we have an enemy carries with it the responsibility of doing something about it. Confronting him, exactly what you're saying. But I give you another one.
Right.
Yeah, I give you another one. We fear, big time, the responsibility of maintaining our lives without that same enemy's help. We don't want to keep traffic lights going. We fear the responsibility of paving the roads. We scared to build the skyscrapers and keep the electricity on and doing the hard work to maintain ourselves, our communities. You know, we're good with letting that same enemy maintain us with food supply and their hospitals and their courts and police and their school system and everything, because they're doing the heavy lifting that really, for us, that we're scared to do for ourselves. It's just like we're scared to admit that this same fool that we're depending on is the worst enemy that we've ever had in recorded history. It's a cold shot, but that's the truth. That's
now,
part of it.
What type, let me say this, what type of people that would normally put drugs and guns in a certain community What type of mindset is that?
A demonic.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, just think, people, what kind of mindset is that, Dr. Sanders? I can't imagine black people going into the white community poisoning their water.
No.
I can't imagine black people going into white people community killing up their little babies. I can't imagine that. I can't imagine it. We are not raised like that. Our household don't raise us to hate nobody.
No.
We do more damage to each other than anybody. We're more forgiving with others than with our own selves, people. This is a different breed of black people that we're witnessing in 2025, people. And the brother said it. When you recognize your enemy, some of us, we are afraid to fight. They killed Martin Luther King. They killed Malcolm X. They killed Harold Washington. They're going to kill you too. You ain't going to be here forever. Just die for a just cause. Don't die because somebody got red on or blue or a dice game or sleep with another man's wife. Don't die because you tried to run out of the grocery store with a TV and the security shot you down for nothing. For nothing. Nothing. Listen, look at the Palestinians, if I may say. And we call them the Muslims. The Americans say they suicidal bombers. But they're doing it for the love of their country and their people.
For Allah, exactly.
Yeah, as they say. So,
that's right.
So I mean, this is the thing. We talk tough talk with each other. We always say what we'll do to each other. We quick to say that. Now, y'all know I'm telling the truth tonight. I'm not trying to lie. But when it comes to others, we cower down. We cower down, period. I don't know what it is with 2025 and black folks, man. We don't celebrate each other. We non-tolerant. We hostile toward one another. We don't want to see one another with nothing. We don't want the old folks against the young people against the old folks, the younger ladies against the older ladies, and it's just all chaos. It's just chaos everywhere. We got to fix this, people. We have to fix this, Marcus. We have to fix this.
Yeah.
The brother always say, we are our own solution. If we waiting on Democrats and Republicans to fix it, it's not going to happen, people. I'm sorry. There's no other party was for black people except the Black Panther Party. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. No other party but the Black Panther Party. They had the black interests of for black folks. No other party.
No other.
So don't get confused. Hold on, Dr. Sanders. White people know how to be nice to you. They know how to give you trinkets. They know how to give you nice, good paying jobs and compliment you how great you are. You're not like the others and you're different. They know how to do that to get what they want. They know how to be nice.
Yep.
Trust
me.
Make
a play with you before he eats you.
You better say it.
So I'm not giving these folks credit at all. They're too demonic. I'm sorry. I'm not giving them credit.
They are. It's too demonic.
Yeah.
And Martin, you remember you and Marcus and the other gentlemen, there was a time that we can get on the L. The green and white L. Y'all remember the green and white L?
I remember it.
Yeah.
They got windows. Their windows can let up.
On the train, go downstairs, go downtown. Go to 63rd Street. What was the hot area? Roseland. We could go in areas and shop and not have nobody snatch a grab or break a window or none of that. We can go sit up in FW Woolworth in Roseland, in 63rd Street. We can go shopping.
Dr. Sanders, remember Inglewood? Inglewood had his own downtown.
Yes, the Met Theater on 47th Street. You had the theater over here on 79th Street. What was that? The one, the building looked like an Egyptian. and all of the black artists, performers would come. The Colony used to be on 58th Street, right past Kedzie. All of that. We had, see, y'all don't know nothing. We know this stuff. We rode the bus, the green and white bus.
Our own bakery.
And we
had our own, right?
Had our own everything. Listen, Dr. Sanders, young people don't understand. All they know is a Walmart, a Sears, a Target. And they listen. We had corner stores with black owners where you had to take a note in order to buy some cigarettes. I remember my mom used to have to write a note. Come on, yeah.
Joints all up and down 69th
Listen,
Street.
They would write a letter and get some groceries on credit until payday. I remember when they had food stamps, they was in a booklet. I remember when they had food stamp coin. Right. So I remember, see, a lot of y'all young folks, and I'm not knocking you guys. You don't know. But we lived through this. I remember I've got chased out of over there, what you call it, over there by White Sox Park, Bridgeview. Chased out of there many times by some white boys. Bridge boys. Man, brother, I'm talking about.
Man, you didn't ride the bus.
Listen. They was stone racist, brother. When I say stone racist, chase me out of there. Even right now, I went to a White Sox game about 4 years ago, man. It got too dark. I got on up out of there because the memories came back in my mind. I said, let me get out of here. It's too dark now. Get on up out of there before these folks try to get at me or something. So it's real.
You remember that you couldn't go to Fort City.
No.
Fort City Mall. You couldn't go over there. Evergreen Plaza. You couldn't go over there. See, we know all this stuff.
Yeah, they would be throwing at you on that bridge. On that bridge off of 71st. They tore it down, but they be throwing at you on that bridge. And that went on until the 90s.
So people.
And if you do the history, young people, the museum, this area, Woodlawn was totally racist.
Mm-hmm.
No niggas was allowed over here. The Oakwood Cemetery, where Ben Wilson, where Jesse, what's his name? The track, Jesse Owens.
Yeah.
They're buried over there. Harold Washington, Mr. Lewis 74. There are some black judges.
Yeah.
It took years before they could even bring black Negroes in that cemetery.
Mm-hmm.
While y'all fighting at Sitco gas station and want to rob people on 67 to Marquette, that area, you were not allowed. Woodlawn Hospital was over here, which is now an apartment building.
Yeah.
There was no park district.
57th Street Beach used to be racist even in the 80s. You could be out there as a group of black kids playing around and the white lifeguards put the police on you quick. I mean, and police brutality, I ain't going to even talk about that, how they used to just stop you there on the street and throw you up against the wall and put a gun to the back of your head. Because you was in Englewood, because you was black. It didn't matter how old you was, or how young you was.
How soon?
A nigga to them.
Listen, I was arguing with a brother. He follows me on social media. He might be on here. I don't know tonight. And I tell him, economically, we were better back in the 40s and the 50s, even in the early 60s. We were better because we had our own everything. Our money stayed in our community because we knew we couldn't go in the white areas and patronize their business. So economically, and even in marriage, we were doing better. It was to the point where we integrated into these places and these restaurants and these different neighborhoods. It's like it took all the power, all our money out of the community. If you look at the black community right now, young people, those of you that's 35 and 40 and under, whatever, if you see the black community now, it didn't always look like this. Trust me. Vacant lots. Vacant businesses. It didn't always look like that. We had our own everything. You name it, we had it. Hold it, Marcus. Hold it. Hold it. Okay. You name it, we had it, young people. Trust me. We had it. And our communities was thriving economically. Thriving. Go ahead, Mr. Marcus.
You know what? Daly, the younger Daly, he came in, because I used to have a candy store. He came in and he shut all that down. Black people had their own little candy stores. These Arabs, when they was coming into our community, mistreating the kids, we were able to make money. Even the kids was able to make money. If you can get some candy from the warehouse, you can sell the candy. The city found out, and they shut all these candy stores down. They shut the Icy Cup lady down because they wouldn't issue a permit. They don't allow you to sell food out of your house. They call that unsanitary. It wasn't about being sanitary. It was about the money, and they wanted to force black people to go to these stinking Arab stores that we have to go to this day, and it smells in them. And you ask yourself, why did the city shut them down? That's a sanitary issue. And then they dump the trash in our alley and leave it there and say that the people in a certain neighborhood is nasty. No, it's the businesses that's not cleaning up behind their businesses.
And you know what? You know what though? A lot of them Arabs are chomos. They want them kids to come up in them stores and they take them, give them a little job or get a little girl some extra candy and take them back in that back room to be raping them. You know, the owner of Cup Foods in Minneapolis, where George Floyd was killed, that place where he supposedly passed the take $20 bill, the Arab fool that owned that, he had a basement apartment where he was having sex with black girls and making pornographic movies, and he went to jail. But the media never reports on how nasty these Arabs are and how evil they are. If you go online, you'll find it.
And they bring in drugs in our community. They selling drugs, and they bring in the guns in there.
Yeah.
Well, let me say this.
I mean, and then when you look at it,
go ahead.
When you look at it, look at what Arab store look like, Jules. They get the raunchiest, nastiest buildings that are really basically the crap.
I know.
And they do a half-behind job in trying to patch it up, get these coolers. I used to work at the one on 51st Street. My cousin was with them for a long time, and they would pay you cash. They would never give you a check. They paid you cash. And they literally would bring all of the canned goods and all this stuff and put it in this place with the roof leaking.
It looks like a vacant building.
Right, exactly. And where do they come, though? They come in our community. You would not catch them in Evergreen, Oak Lawn, Hickory Hills, Palos Heights. Because the commerce not going to let them come over there. They're not. Where do they come? The big liquor stores on 75th Street, across from Lamb. Look where they go. They come in our community.
And why don't we have any black who own liquor stores? At one time we did.
We still have a few.
The city won't let them. So
yeah. See,
we don't have enough.
Well, see, let me just say this to people. I've learned. Let me put these glasses because it's like they use the city workers, black workers, to come by and shut us down, find all types of fines and all that, and find us, get us in court, until a lot of black people got frustrated and just sold the business. You know, so I'm thinking now, how is these poor folks that come from another country, because ain't no rich people coming over here, it's poor folks coming over here to make a living. And the saying is, anybody say this, if you're a foreigner and you want to get rich, go to the black community and get rich. Set up a business. I'm telling you. Listen, they got us so target. If you go to these stores, chicken, fish, and steak. That's what they think all black people eat. Chicken, fish, and steak. And they open, that's what they advertise. Then you got the Asians. You got the Asians. They know black women suffer from low self-esteem. They got to have all this makeup. They got to have these eyelashes, these chemicals. They took that market over. Listen, black women, let me tell you guys something. You could make that market collapse in one day by not shopping at these beauty supplies. You could make it fall in one day. They are depending on black women to go into these stores to patronize these businesses. They're depending on it. Now, ask yourself this question. We have a professional here, a couple of professionals. If a person can't speak the language, that means he can't write it. That means that he can't read it. How can he come over here and outfox you in the business and open up and make money off you? He's selling you products that he can't even read. Can't tell you what it means. All he or she knows that you like this. Come on. How could they outfox us when it comes to this, people? Dr. Sanders, help me out. 206, help me out. Y'all help me out.
Yeah.
Help me out. Now, we're the ones. I have Dr. Sanders, my sister, I love her. She have a PhD. You know, she got to fight with these white folks on the job because they intimidated her. So, 206, help me out, man. Help me out. What's going on, brother? What's going on?
Well, you know, I'm not a foreigner, so I don't know. But I'll tell you this, and I'm looking for the link now so I can put it in the chat. There's a sister that was, she may have been in Chicago. She had a food truck, and it's either Atlanta or Chicago, and they were charging her taxes and messing with her license and had her paying all kind of fees, and they ran her temporarily out of business. So they took her truck and they put it, I guess, in like the food truck impound lot or something like that. And she saved up the money to get the truck back, but she couldn't pay all the money off because she didn't pay it at once. The Hispanic immigrant that Biden brought in here, this happened last year, that he came to buy her truck. He either offered her the money or her truck was up for auction. She was trying to buy her truck back. This Hispanic, who couldn't hardly speak English, was given thousands and thousands of dollars by the government, not only the federal government, but the state that they were in. I think it was Illinois, to buy her truck, and he ended up buying her truck all with taxpayer dollars, and she didn't get no help at all. And the dominant society gave him the money to buy her business, drive off, and make money. So these people, they just like he's saying, they can't read. These people aren't wealthy people. The Neely Fuller, who here has heard ever? I'm gonna say something. Shut up, because some people say I'm long-winded, so I'm gonna try to make it short. Who here has ever heard of somebody by the name of Neely Fuller?
I have. You know I have. You know I have.
Okay.
But I don't think he's dead. They had a thing out said he was dead, but you know we'll talk about that later. But go ahead.
Yeah, we'll talk about it later. But let me just say this, because this is part of his genius, and I think he's a genius. He said in early 2000s that racism is going to manifest itself in different ways than it did in the past, because you can't keep running the same trick on people time after time after time. You got to change the hustle every now and then. And he said that the four main ways that racism, especially against black people, is going to manifest, it's going to manifest by racial showcasing, LeBron James, Diddy, basketball housewives. It's going to manifest also in white sacrifice. That's the opioid, the crystal methamphetamine, the poor whites and all that stuff. But there's two ways that they were going to attack us. That was with racial dislocation and racial population tailoring. They are bringing these, trust me, if you look at it, every foreigner that comes to this country, in their countries of origin, they have anti-black sentiment, whether they are Hispanic, whether they're Asian, whether they're Arab. They have a history of being anti-black. Do not think that the dominant society hasn't gone around the world and looked at these people and psychologically studied these people and know that we can use these people against the foundational black Americans in our own country, especially in a city like Chicago that they founded for themselves and by themselves. So they bring these foreigners in here and they displace us with these foreigners, okay? That's racial dislocation. And then they put the foreigners in ideal situations, in ideal areas like near the lakefront, near, I think y'all call it DuSable Drive or something now. I was born and raised in Chicago. You used to call it Lakeshore Drive. They put them near the near West Side, where all the industry and everything is going down there with Jackson, where the basketball stadium is, and up the street from the Sears Tower. These people know what they're doing. This is a chess. We're on a chess board, and we don't even know that the game is being played. And one of the greatest demographic weapons and demographic tools they have is foreigners, not just foreigners, but taking our taxpayer dollars, enriching, and empowering them to displace us. I mean, that's just what 54 years of life has shown me.
Mm-hmm. And it's true. I'm a follower of Neely Fuller. I agree. You know, his favorite quote is, if you don't understand racism, what it is and how it works, everything you know will only confuse
Everything
you.
else will
Only confuse. And see, and people,
right.
and black people, and I'm saying blacks, and when I say black people, that doesn't mean I say all, okay? Let's get that clear, okay? For my people that's politically correct. You said black people. Yeah, I did, but I'm not saying all. They think racism is a white person only calling you the N-word, the Niger word. That's racism to them. That's all they know. But see, they don't understand about the redlining, the Jim Crow, or the discrimination, the profiling, and all that. Now, you got some white folks. Now, back me up, Dr. Sanders, at 206 and Marcus.
Yes.
They're not going to burn your church up. They're not going to, they're not going to stab you, hang you on a tree or nothing, but they're going to mistreat you. They're going to make sure when you come on that job that you get the bottom job, and you're going to do the job that don't nobody else want to do. They're going to make sure that you're going to be there on time all the time. You're not going to clock out early. You can't do what we do. You can't drink at the water at the desk. Now, we can do it, but you can't do it. Come on, somebody help me out.
Yeah.
They're going to enforce. They have an entitlement that I'm going to keep my feet on a black person's neck, if I may use that term. They have an entitlement. Then when you call them on their thing, oh, I have a black husband, I have a black wife. You call them on there. Oh, no. Don't tell me that. Don't tell me the worstest thing a white person can tell another person, that they don't see no color. When a white person tell me, I'm getting up and running, getting away from them, because they lying. They lying.
Martin, another technique they use, I used to work for the Park District as a laborer, and there was this guy named John. I ain't going to give his last name, but he was a white guy named John. John was a racist, but he knew how to handle certain black folks. He knew how to even out the ball field. He treated the black folks who had the lower positions any kind of way, and he treated the black folks who had the higher position a little bit nicer. So when you go talk to another black person about John, they would say, well, John ain't racist because he treats me nice. Oh, no, he's racist. That's another tool that they use. They use us against each other.
Yeah,
to do
they
their
do.
dirty work.
Now,
They do.
I got another caller before he comes, because I already know what he gonna say. I got another caller, but let me just say before he gets started. Dr. Sanders. Okay, hold it. Before he gets started, for somewhere in his mind, he thinks what we talking about don't exist anymore. He swear it don't exist. He think that's back in the 40s and the 50s. It's still right now. When I wake up, I see it. When I listen to the TV, I see it. When I work on these jobs, I see it. When I fill out a job application, I see it. I feel it, the stares of folks.
Yep.
Now, that doesn't mean that you can't be a lawyer. That doesn't mean that you can't be a PhD. That doesn't mean that you can't be none of these things. But as a group, they're not going to allow us to win. That's what I'm saying. There are many, like the brothers say, are showcasing success stories. Very few. Very few. Look at Obama. Look at Oprah. They love saying Oprah and Obama. They love using them for example. So you telling me out of the 30 million black people here in the country, we only have one Oprah and we have one Obama. Out of all these millions of people, we supposed to celebrate. Oh, the first, listen, see, they good. Y'all got me started tonight now. They good say, the first black the first black that sat on a toilet stool, the first black that opened up a grocery store, the first black that got a car company, the first black that worked at NBC, the first black anchor. See, they make you feel good, these accolades, that the first black person that got a street named after them. Have you noticed that? The first black statue in front of a black woman, big old healthy woman, a first statue in New York. See, this supposed to please us. Look at the black people. You're doing great. And they got all the wealth and all the property. Let me say this before my 317 come. I got to educate them a little bit. And I understand these young brother. When they brought, when they brought Africans to this country, I'm not going to say slaves, they made them into slaves. What did we own? Nothing. In 2025, 206, what do we own? Nothing. They own the water system. They own the education. They own the health care. They own the laws, the police, and everything. Nearly Philip called it the 7 areas. The economics. We control nothing. It's almost like a game of Monopoly. If you land on somebody's property or space, you got to pay. You got to pay. For those of you that are homeowners, you never really own your home. All it takes is 2 years. You can lose your home in 2 years. 2 years not paying the taxes. Not paying the taxes. So if America wasn't so racist, why we need a Civil Rights Act? Why we need a Fair Housing Act? Why we need all these bills? If it's so righteous and just, why would our police need a body cam, a dash cam? If they were so righteous, if they're so right, ask yourself the question: if it was a even a fair world, why would they have to ask you what is your ethnicity and your race on the application? Why does that matter if they ask you a male or female? Why does that matter? I got the qualifications. Why does that matter?
Why do we got a black studies class in college? Yeah. We don't have a white studies class.
Yeah. Go ahead, Dr. Sanders. Right. Y'all got me fired up tonight. Them white folk will be mad at me tonight.
And the brother mentioned about acting and entertainment. All of this, look at what happens in the earlier part of movies. And it bothers me when I see these new shows, Basketball Wives, hey D, hey ho, how you doing?
Yeah, I hate that.
When do we stop talking about us like we're nothing? And the women on here, let's look at it. We didn't have no TV reality show. We had things that would make you laugh. The husband and wife just didn't even sleep in the same bed. I mean, until we saw Good Times. But my thing is, we are out there and they prostitute us. We're money to white America. That's why they do what they do. That's why they do what they do. They put their money into us to do what they want us to do. To fight each other, call us niggas and all other kind of words. That's what they do. And you see what's going on with our black men in the entertainment industry. Look what they did to our favorite home dad, Bill Cosby.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Dr. Sanders, what they say, right is right, wrong is wrong. But when they do it, they get quiet. See, I noticed, this is what I've been running the tests on my page, y'all. Let me tell you the tests I've been running. I'm going to go back to you, Dr. Sanders. I've been posting white people crime up there now, faces up there. And I notice I don't get the reaction that I get when I post a black face up there.
Right.
I noticed that. I've been doing it for the last 2 weeks. I've been sharing a lot of white faces and blacks, mostly whites. The same action that I get from black folks, I don't get for the white people. They're afraid because they see. I'm just saying, people. I've been doing a test. I said I'm gonna see how many people respond to this. What I'm putting up there, very few. But let the black person, I hope he rot in hell. I'm glad he got. I hope he do life in prison. But when I put up the same with white folks, these Negroes quiet. Yeah, I said Negroes. They quiet. They quiet, Dr. Sanders. They quiet. They quiet.
I know.
Hey, Martin.
Yeah, y'all got okay.
Martin.
Go ahead. Hurry up, man. I got to get 317 on here now before he gets scared and run.
I just put that in case you want to look at it. I just put that video in the chat. Is all I'm saying.
Okay.
You may not have time, but it's in there.
Okay. Cool. So what I'm saying is, it still exists. Listen, it just changed forms. We're not walking around here with chains around our neck and around our waist or around our ankles. It's a mental thing. They say when you got the mind, the body will follow. So some of y'all, if you go, listen to this 206, if you go into a gun store legally and purchase a gun, and you got a black person in mind that you'll kill if he run and rob you, they got you. That gun's supposed to be for anybody. For anybody. Yeah. It's supposed to be for protection, not just for a black person. So if you think it's just killing a black person, they got your mind. They got your mind.
They sure do.
See, real talk. Real talk, they got your mind.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And most of us, we purchase a gun for another black person, waiting on a black person to approach us in a certain way, breaking our house, whatever. It could be a white person breaking it. I put up a video, I think it was yesterday, of white people looting. I need to go back and see how many responses that I got. Go on in there, snatching and grabbing. I want to see what they got to say. I heard one brother on this podcast, and he might be listening. Well, he made excuse for the white people. Oh, well, you don't see white people doing it that much. I know they do it, but they don't do it that much. Listen.
Yeah, that's what we do. We make excuses.
Yeah, make excuses for them.
Go on the north side.
Yeah, we make excuses. See, that's why they want to live separate from us and away from us, so we can't see their ills and all that.
That's right. That's right.
That's by design. Right. Listen. I go to the flea market. Them white people come up there with all that stolen merchandise, brand new. And you know they on drugs, the teeth out their mouth riding, clothes hanging out there. They up there selling stuff. And they showed up it wasn't donated to them. So for all you people out there, I remember Dr. Sanders, I put up a post, it was maybe 3 years ago. I heard over the scanner before they cut the scanner off, where you could, in real time. A lady, I think it was on 79th and maybe the Dan Rand, she said a white man tried to carjack her. This is what it came over the air. So I posted it. Somebody said, oh, Martin, you think you made a mistake. Not no white man, a black man. No, I'm saying exactly what the 911 operator said. Black people couldn't believe it. They could not believe it. They didn't want to believe it. They don't know. See, we got this. We got, like I tell people, if you watch the mainstream media, even social media, you would think and believe that black people are the only one out there half naked, snatching and grabbing, killing, drive-by shooting, fighting the police and all that. You would think that, shooting at the police. Matter of fact, if we go to the real statistics, you got white folks kill police officers more than blacks.
Yeah.
But they downplay it.
That's true.
They downplay it. For those of you that don't read statistics and all that, you just run for whatever you see. You look at One News, you look at Fox News, you look at CNN News. You need to look at both of them. Then you need to know how to critical think. Come on now. I'm telling you.
And Martin, you know what? Another thing before you bring on your guest, I'm reminded of when in the movie Malcolm X, and of course, Alex Haley had done the book, the actual book before he passed because he was particular about how he wanted the story to go. But if you recall, when he went to the police station and they demanded to see Brother Johnson, that was the power that we need to have. That we need to have that power. When any one of us is caught up in something, we need to demand the system. Not just talk about it, but let's do it together. Walk in there and say, okay, well, what's going on? We're not leaving. He knew the law. He knew what the rights were. And they said, well, we might think. He said, no, he's right here. He did not fumble. Remember, Martin, I told you, I was in the same class with his niece. And she let us know that is the truth. He was not playing with nobody. He studied how the system worked. He read that dictionary. He knew how to be able to formulate his words and his thoughts of what was going on. And it broke his heart because we're still fighting. That was the truth. Everything that we've seen, it wasn't embellished. It wasn't. We've got to have that power. But we've got to teach this generation that's coming up to wake up. Wake up. Wake up.
317, come on, man. Let me hold my ears. I know you're going to say something crazy, but go ahead. Go ahead.
Why you gotta be like that, though?
No, because but you know what, 317.
I got to talk yet.
Let me just say this, 317. I would advise you, man, to learn some Black history, man, on your own. I will advise you, and you will understand we're working in a system. This is a system that we're working in. It's a system. It's designed to make them look good. It's for diversity, but for a few. You know, everybody, brown people on their application, they say white, but in public, they say brown. You never hear brown people the way you hear Black people say black and brown. Now, you'll hear some brown people say black, but I'm just being honest with you. It's a game being played on foundation Black Americans. And every time when it comes to reparations, they always ask someone that's not a foundation Black America about what they think about reparations. I'm telling you, people, 206, no one telling the truth. Go ahead.
I want to say that it's okay for somebody to feel differently than the next person. Somebody shouldn't get judged because they don't have the same mindset or feel the same way that you do. I don't think it's fair that I'm criticized about that, but it's all good. But
no, but it's like not a fair. See, the thing. What I'm trying to.
Your show is about us.
Right. But what I'm just saying is, we have people. No, it's not a criticize because see, I know you see. I've heard you say out of your own mouth. That was the 40s and 50s. That's not now. I've heard you say that.
And then your rhetoric that you gave on how I feel isn't even how I feel.
Well, I'm going by what you say, brother. I can only judge you on what you say out of your mouth. So you can't tell me you saying some things. You can't tell me what you saying out of the mouth. Listen, a person act out the way they think.
Some of those things that you said, I never said, or do I feel? But we're going to get it straight now.
Well, let's get it straight.
Yeah, no problem, Mr. Mark. So here's how I feel. So we all know that racism exists. We know that. We know if you do a crime, I'm likely to get more time than Tim. I know I'm more likely to be followed through a store. I know I'm more likely to be killed being pulled over. I know I'm more likely not to get the job because I have dreads and because I'm a tall Black man with dreads. I'm already aware of all of these things. So that is not the question. The question is, if we are aware of these things, why are we not moving in a way to create a space to get rid of these things? Why are we helping the situation? Why are we not tapping to the next door neighbor snatching your kid up? What happened to somebody actually having a say so when your child was doing something that they wasn't supposed to do. Now, I live in a different generation. I'm probably one of the younger ones, as y'all call me the young guy. I'm 42 though, but I come from a different time. My experiences are different than you guys. You guys are a little older. You guys come from a time where true racism that I have never experienced, nor have I seen, existed. So those are your experiences, and I'm not knocking those. My words are, we live in a time now where we can be great. We do know that racism exists, and racism isn't just towards us. Racism is towards all races. Like, if there's a white dude in a room with 17 black dudes, he's going to feel it. Like, we're going to treat him differently. If a white black dude is in a room with 17 Asians, we're going to get treated differently. This is just a racism is in every race. Every race has racism. We love our own race. Every race loves their own race. So I feel like we live in a time now, those days where we couldn't look people in the eye, we couldn't same water fountain, we couldn't go to the same schools. Those days are not now. So why are we still focused on those days? I understand we still live in these times now, but that doesn't make us better. It just keeps us in the same mindset that is putting us where we are now. Why is it?
I got to ask you a question.
Why is it that back in the 50s, back in the 60s and 50s, when racism was at a high, when black people were getting hung, strung up, why is it that economically our race was doing better then than now? How is that?
Ask yourself. You answer that question. Answer that question yourself.
I know the answer.
Well, let me hear it.
What is it?
What is it?
Well, the answer is us. We are the problem.
Explain it. Go ahead. Get him 206. Get him 206. I'm going to be quiet.
I just trying to listen.
Issue. Why is it that back in the 50s, as y'all call it, single motherhood?
Answer the question, brother. Don't answer the question with a question. Hold it. 317. Answer your own question. We don't need another question on top of another question.
I didn't ask the question. What I'm saying is,
you did ask the question.
50s, okay, back in the 50s and 60s, single motherhood in the black community was at 20%. 2025, it's at 70%. That is almost 1,000% increase. We don't talk about these things, though. We still worried about how it used to be. Of course, we know that, and it ain't just us, it's almost any race other than white. Don't let nobody get a piece of it. We got to make it ourselves. Why are we still trying to get in their society when we have the money and the power ourselves? We control $44 million of the stock market in the United States. Black people control 44 million of the stock market.
That's nothing, brother.
Brother 317. Brother 317. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, brother?
Go ahead. He hear you.
317. Can you hear me?
He hear you. Go ahead. He hear you.
Okay, Robbie.
He hear you. Go ahead, 206.
If you can hear me, so we can understand your argument, the point that you're trying to make. Can you do this for us? Can you reduce your argument or the point you're trying to make in a succinct statement? Just boil it down. What's the point that you're trying to make? Just so we can better understand and respond to what you're saying. What is the point that you're trying to make with what you're saying here? What's the essence of what you're trying to say?
Is y'all still living in the 50s? Point blank.
We're still living. How do you get that we're still living in the 50s? Have we been talking about the 50s?
You're talking about a day that doesn't exist right now. You're talking about a time now. Some things are accurate, like he said. We can't wait a minute. Some things he said are accurate. They won't allow us as a race to be purposeful, right? But we don't need them to be anything. We have our own. Why are we not creating our own? As Honorable Mr. Farrakhan has been saying for years, we need to create our own. Instead, we complain and march and do all this stuff when we have our own money. So to sum it up, if you want to know what my sum up is that we have been so victimized as a race in the last few hundred years that we just can't come to the grasp that right now we can be successful. If all of us right now in this chat got together, we could go buy a building. But we're not doing it. We're just going to talk about it.
And what would buying a building? What exactly? That's all.
I'm not saying what we should do, or I'm saying if we wanted to, we could do that. But back in 1940 or 1950, you couldn't do that.
What?
But now you can do.
That's not true, brother.
20 people own property. 20 people own property.
I don't own my property, brother.
Say, I told
let me
you.
ask you this. I don't want to monopolize, because I'm sure the other listeners and the hosts want to ask you questions. But let me 317. I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna yield to the host and the other callers. What I'm looking for when I hear members of our group talk similarly to you, and I'm not saying it's right, I'm not saying it's wrong, but you're taking issue with the way we think, speak, and act as far as racism is concerned, and you have a lot of suggestions as to what we can do. Let's just say that you're the king of black people. Let's just say there's a monarchy in America of black people, and you're the king, right? And whatever you say is what we have to do. So my last question, I'm sure it's not my last question, but this question that I have for you now is, if you could tell us what to do, or if you had a magic wand, what would be the fundamental actions that we as a collective should engage in to solve the problem of black culture, and we're living in the 50s, as you said? What should we do?
Well, man, that's a pretty broad statement. There's a lot that needs to be start to
Well, you have broad objectives to what we're doing.
I would feel like that needs to be fixed the most would be fathers in the home. That's the biggest problem.
Tell me how that will work. And what problem would that solve? Would it be racism, or what would it do? What would fathers do?
Racism doesn't matter right now because it doesn't stop you from being great. Anybody can dislike somebody.
So having fathers in the home. We got to be clear. We got to be clear on this. So I got to stop. So you'll understand what I'm asking you. So you said the problem was that we were living in the 50s, right? That's what you said, right?
Are you offended by that? Was you offended by that?
I'm not offended, but you won't shut up for a minute so I can get you straight, so we can communicate. I can understand what you're saying. You said the problem was that we were living in the 50s, right? That's what you said, right?
And I'm answering it. And before
that's your problem, man. That's your problem. You can't shut up. You can't shut up. You just keep going. You're not making any sense. So I'm done with this school. I'm done with this school, y'all. Y'all have fun with it.
That's good. Now, I'm glad that you got that off. Put yourself on mute now. So as I was saying, you can't ask the person a question and then when they're answering the question, hit them with another question before they even finish answering the question, and then tell them
because you're talking stupid and you're not making any sense.
I thought you were.
You're not making any sense, man. I'm trying to clarify.
You're still going, and you said you would stop. So pick a struggle, my guy.
Well, Martin, let me say this.
As an outside person, I had to make a quick run in Atlanta. I'm about to mute back up again. I had somebody with some car trouble. I had to come and help her out. If you're asking somebody a question, give them the benefit of getting their full answer out before you ask another one. That's pretty much all. I'm muting back up because that's what I heard. What's 1 + 1? Or 1 plus? Well, if you put 3 on top of it, can I get done with what's 1 + 1? See what I'm saying? Let's all be courteous. Excuse me. Let's all be courteous to each other and allow each other their allotted time to answer a question properly, whereas you will understand what the person is saying instead of assuming. Okay? Now I'm getting back up. I don't want car background noise on the train.
Hey, Sarge, for your benefit, I think you're directing that to 206. You have to stop someone if their answer isn't making any sense. You have no choice.
It doesn't mean it doesn't make sense because you feel like it doesn't. Other people are listening and understanding.
It does because I'm the one that asked you, and you were responding.
Okay, maybe you shouldn't be asking questions if you don't want to hear the answer to what somebody's going to tell you.
Maybe you shouldn't answer questions if you're not making any sense.
Maybe you should mute yourself like you said you would 10 minutes ago.
Maybe I can't mute myself because you're not making any sense, and you keep mischaracterizing what I'm asking you and not answering.
Okay. Question, sister, did you ask something that you want to ask me?
Sanders,
There was
Dr.
a sister
Sanders.
on the phone that you want to ask me.
Dr.
Mark,
Sanders.
okay. Let me share this.
Sir, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Likewise.
Yes, sir.
Claudine still exists. It still does. If it didn't, we would not have no need for aid officers. We wouldn't. If you look at the movie Claudine, for really what it is, it's not just about an African American woman who had several marriages and relationships that failed. She had to rear those children. Welfare kept her on a string when she could not do certain things without it. Originally, welfare was not meant for that, but it changed. The law changed. Claudine still exists. In racism, we may not see in our present, but there are some hangings going because my family is still in the South. And I hear about a lot of hangings, but they don't talk about it. As Martin said, when he puts up videos about different scenarios that have been happening, and only people respond to what we be doing that's wrong, but then when white folks do something, trust me, they do it all the time. Who created the show called Snap? Wasn't no black person. It happens in the workplace. As I said about the University of Chicago, there is racism there. They don't like a black woman that is educated, that treat people fairly, right, and with compassion. But I have a staff of teams that shows the racism. One little white girl, I'm older than her. She's older than my child. And said to me, and I wanted to hit her in a snot box, don't do it again. I said, who you talking to? It wouldn't have been no problem for me to come across there and snatch the little white girl. It's still there.
Can I ask you a question?
You don't read no books.
So, I understand that you guys feel differently or maybe don't even really want to hear my aspect on how I feel about things, right? But you also, like I said earlier, have to put yourself in my shoes. I haven't experienced the racism that you guys have experienced. I haven't experienced that. So I can only go by my own experiences. I know what happened and what used to happen. But in the generation I'm living, I didn't experience some of those things, right? So I'm seeing what's going on in the inside now, from a young point of view. And from what I see, the problem is, I would say the white man is maybe 15% of the problem. The problem is us. The problem is our culture. We glorify disrespecting our women. We glorify murder. We glorify robbing, breaking in people's houses. We glorify these things and dance to them in clubs and recite them to our kids. Our kids are singing them in the car. You're not going to sit here and tell me the white man is the problem. Now, I understand who controls the music because that's going to be the next thing. Well, who controls the music, right? Who controls the music is me who controls the music from what my child is listening to. Why is my 5-year-old child reciting Megan Thee Stallion? But she can't even say her ABC.
Okay.
But it's the white man.
Let me say something. Brother, I put up a stat maybe a week ago, a week and a half ago. It was from 2019. And I compared the crimes from the whites and the blacks. White people.
I was on there.
Okay. But you don't see it on the media. See, black people led in 2 stats. and all the rest
I
of the
can tell you
stats, all the other stats, white people led.
Yeah,
But you don't see them on the news exploited. But hold on. Now, if we only lead in 2, and the ones under 18, they led in 4. Okay. Why is it that you don't see it in the media, but you see the black folks? You see
I'll
it.
tell you why.
Let me hear
It's
it.
an easy question. Because it is divide and conquer. If we're divided, the government can control. If we are together, we fight. So the goal is to keep us apart. So they don't tell you. I was just telling a friend of mine last week, a couple of weeks ago, 4 black kids beat up an old white woman and killed her. Right? You won't see it like that on the news, right? You won't see that because it's not clickbait. Clickbait is how we react. They use our own fears and love against us. So they'll throw up something like, oh, yeah, these white kids beat up this black dude, and they didn't even lock the black dude. They didn't even lock the white kids up. We go into an uproar, and that continues.
Okay. Now, what do you... Okay, hold it. What do you call that?
Divide and conquer.
That's not racism?
Well,
yes or no? Yes. Hold on. Yes or no? Is that racism?
Is what racism?
What you just said that they're doing.
Divide and conquer. Pushing racism. They're pushing racism.
I ask you a question. Is that racism? Yes or no?
I don't understand the question. Is what?
Yeah, you understand it. You
understand. Is it racism? Wait, no, I really don't. Though I'm not being funny.
No, sir. 317. You just told me. You just described something, and I asked you the statement that you just made. I asked you, is that racism? Yes or no?
On the borderline, yes and no. It could be considered racism.
Martin?
Yes, go ahead, 206.
Racism,
206. Hold it. Hold on. Yeah. 317. Hold on, 317. Go ahead, 206, and we got a new caller. Go ahead.
Brother, 317, let me just ask you one question, brother.
Are you sure you want to ask the question?
Didn't I just say that? See, now you're talking crazy again. Let me just ask you this. Can you, for the benefit of the host and the people on the call, can you define for us what racism is?
No.
Now, let me be sure. I didn't quite hear you because my signal's bad. You said no, correct?
Everybody on this phone knows what racism is. My definition of it means nothing. Everybody knows what racism is. We experience it.
Okay, so you're part of everybody, right? You're part of everybody, right?
You got any more questions?
Okay, so give us your definition, or give us the definition of racism.
I answered that. Do you have any more questions, brother?
You did not answer it. So do you have a definition or no?
I said no. I am not giving any definitions of racism.
And why are you not giving us the definition of racism?
Because I'm just not.
I mean, this is the word that you use. So you used a word with us in this conversation that you refuse to define. Am I understanding you correctly?
You are understanding correctly. Anything else, brother?
No, I rest my case.
Okay, new caller.
Now back to the question.
No, new caller, brother. Let's go to the new caller. Let's get because they've been holding for. Okay, the new caller, the last 4 digits, 6650. Go ahead, new caller.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, Buck. What's up, Buck?
Hey, if I can, allow me to ask the gentleman a few questions from 317.
Go ahead, ask him.
Oh, man, what's going on? Say hi to her brother first, damn.
317, this is a brother out here from the South Side Low End. Let me ask you a few questions. Where did you grow up at?
Grew up in Indianapolis, Indiana.
Okay, was your area, was you like integrated, or you was all around all white people or all black people?
I'm from the hood.
Okay, you from the hood, they call it Indianapolis.
Been shot 6 times before I was leaving 18.
Okay. The type of work you do, are you surrounded by white people or are you around black people?
Now I'm surrounded by white people.
Okay, I understand that. How about friendships? Do you have white friends?
A couple, not many.
Okay, when you talk like the stuff like we talking about now, would you elaborate how you feel about black people and black things towards your white friends and your white coworkers?
Okay, what's that question again? I
said, would you elaborate, just like you talking now, about how you feel about black people? Do you talk the same way to your white colleagues when you be rapping it, the same script to them? Do you talk to them that way, how you feel about your own people?
How do I feel about my people?
I've been hearing you say that blacks cause their own problems. There ain't no racism. I'm reiterating once again, do you talk the same way to your white colleagues, the same way you rapping up?
You said there was no racism.
You tell them that, right?
I didn't say that. I never said
that. Did they tell you that? How do they feel about it? If you say, bruh, Tom, we're at the job and there's no racism, black people...
When you want to talk, we got to speak facts. I never said racism doesn't exist. If you're going to,
I'm just saying on your opinion. I ain't thinking about no others hypothetical. I'm thinking the way you look at things. The way you look at things.
So because I have a problem and because I see real issues in my community, that means that I'm talking bad about my community.
No, there's nothing bad about your upbringing because you're from Indiana. I don't know nothing about it. I know Kokomo is one of the Northern Klan headquarters up here. So, I mean, in some places you couldn't go. Valparaiso, Crown Point, and now you can live in Hobart and St. John's, but God bless them. Indiana is known for being a Southern type influencer with slavery ideals. I know you see Confederate flags down where you live at. I know you see Confederate flags. Huh?
The KKK started in Indiana. So are you
I know that.
Chicago? You from the low end Chicago?
43rd Street, brother.
Respect. Ooh, you from that 13th Berkeley.
So I'm about real experiences. I've been all over. I got white friends. I got friends I work with, but I keep it real. I'm a black man first. When I tell a joke, I tell my white partner, only time I want to see a bunch of crackers is in my soup, and the white partner will laugh at it because he know who I am and know what I am. I'm about my people first and foremost, and I don't care if he don't like it, he won't be my friend, but he's still my friend because he know who I am. Like Muhammad Ali, he told it like it was. He broke it down. If 1,000 snakes coming to you referring to white people, would you kill all of them or would you let them go? Because you think one or two of them might be good. You got to kill all them snakes because if you trust one or two, you get caught up in your own game. We don't control nothing in this country. We all are product of what we receive by the white people. The money you hold in your hand is with a white man on it. We are products of slavery and all the things they do to us and continue to do to us. You might be brainwashed. You ever been in the military? I know Sarge is a big guy with that, but you got to be taught to think the way you think because you don't become your common enemy with yourself unless you don't love yourself.
Talk about it. So let me ask you something. So I'm an idiot of myself and all this. So you're saying that us as a community are not the reason for 80% of the issues we go through.
Okay, let me give it to you like this. You live in Indianapolis, right?
That's a specific question, brother. Are we?
I'm asking you with a question. I want to ask you, Indianapolis. I don't know Indianapolis.
If y'all don't want to talk
I can tell you about Chicago, but you don't know nothing about Chicago because you're not from here. So I'm gonna ask you about Indianapolis. Is black unemployment high in Indianapolis for young black men in Indianapolis? Yes or no?
So as I was saying, so are you saying?
God bless you, man. Sometimes what you do, sometimes just for your own benefit and help yourself. You might be a good guy, but like I say, until you know what you're dealing with yourself and what's around you, you living in a fantasy. You might as well watch the black sitcoms they put on TV that's foolish, Tyler Perry stuff, and live your life like that because ain't no talking to you because you only believe the foolishness of what you see. So you might as well get a Medea outfit and call it a day. God bless you.
You haven't listened to what minutes even saying what I'm saying. So, but that's good to make that kind of thought on how I feel. That's what's up. I appreciate that. But let's get to the next, as I said. So, did he hang up? Oh, he just said what he said and hung up. You don't want to talk about it? Y'all don't want to talk about it. Y'all just want to say what y'all say.
No, but hold it. Yeah, hold it. Yeah, hold it, Sarge. Hold it. 317. Do me a favor, man. Explain racism, what it means in your own words. That's what I'm curious. Explain. No.
You want to talk about it? Not gonna do it.
Hold it, y'all.
Hey, let
hold hold it.
Let him
Hold.
ask the question.
I'm asked as the host. 317 as the host of the show. As the host of the show.
Question,
I'm asking you,
my question.
sir.
Answer my question,
Sir. I'm asking you, sir. What is racism in your own words? Your definition of racism. I need to know that. I want to know it. I'm curious because 206 got me curious.
There is no my definition of racism.
But what is
one definition of racism.
What is it?
There's not a
Answer it.
Of racism. There is a definition.
Okay, hold on. Stop it right there, 317. 317. First of all, let me tell you something, 317. You're not smarter than me at all. I'm just telling you that. You're not smarter than me at all, brother. I'm just letting you know. I'm just letting you know because see, listen, brother. You hold it, 317. Hold it. Listen, you're trying to see hold it, 317. Now 317, you're not gonna overtalk me. You're not gonna overtalk me now. You know, I got this mute button over here. I don't want to have to use it, but I want to respect you. No, you're gonna tell me what I can do. I don't want to have to use it, but I will. But I'm trying to give you the benefit of the doubt as being the host. I don't want to make like it's my way or the highway. I want you to feel comfortable talking. I don't want you to draw up on me. Just answer this. You know, all I'm asking, brother, all I'm asking. Listen, brother, are you gonna let me talk? Are you gonna let me talk? Do I have to beg to talk on my own show? Do I have to beg to talk on my own show? I mean, do I really have to? Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. 206, this is what I'm gonna do. Give me your definition of racism. Then I'm gonna go to Dr. Sanders. Then I'm gonna go to Marcus. I'm gonna do it this way.
Sure thing.
Okay, go ahead.
That's the best way to go.
Sarge, he wasn't talking to you, brother. Just let me respond to the host. My definition of racism: any system of economic, education, entertainment, labor, law, politics, religion, sex, and war, the 9 areas of human activity, where one group uses their individual and collective resources, whether they be financial or political or social, to dominate and control and exploit another specific group of people, either individual or collective, in all those 9 areas of human existence.
Okay.
It is a group system of domination, control, and exploitation upon another group of people. That's my definition.
Okay, Dr. Sanders.
In addition to what he said,
go ahead, Dr. Sanders.
It's superiority over, it's superiority. Yeah, one group is superior over another.
Okay, Marcus.
It's a prejudice, and it has to do with oppression of another people.
Okay. Can you explain oppression a little bit for those in the audience that don't know what oppression is or how it's done?
Well, from my understanding, people who have power, who use that power to keep other people in poverty, not being able to advance on the same level as they are, because they're afraid that if they advance on the same level as they are, they're going to take over and reverse the situation.
Okay. Sergeant, your definition of racism.
Yeah, it's the same as the brother put out, right?
No, I need
any system that's used.
Go ahead.
Okay, can I get to it?
Go ahead.
Any systems that's used, like the brother said, to, be standing overbearing over another supposedly free individual. And that also goes all the way into this religious order that so many people follow behind blindly, and they don't understand that that's another construct of racism, social engineering, and all of that to keep people confused. What type of fool would believe to love your enemy despite all abuse that they do to you? No, not what kind of fool. That is just a straight fool. You know what I'm saying? And all this stuff that's been going on, come to a country. I have a Bible in one hand and a sword in another one. Worship my God instead of yours or die. So this goes way back in the history of the world. Okay? Way back. And the sad part about the whole damn thing is the foolish Africans that were practicing all of the same system that sold off their own to Europeans for whatever the Europeans wanted to do with said people, which created Black America. Okay? Which are a proud people. Everybody has their flaws. But the confusion, if the confusion in Black America and the misguidedness in Black America leaves, what they used to say, watch out now. See, you got to keep that confusion. See, and if you have the authority and the power via media and all these other sources of outlets of information to create a mindset on a group of people, that is selfish racism. That's just me.
Okay.
Now,
I
don't, you know what I'm
okay,
saying?
good.
I
Okay,
ain't got no
you good.
degrees.
Okay, Sarge, that's
all
okay. I actually now I want to ask 317. What is his definition of racism?
All right, I'll go ahead. So, I mean, like I said, this is really what the downing of a race for the benefit of another race would be technically the definition of racism. But it only is racism if the race benefits from downing the other race, which is why we say we can't be racist. To me, that's fabrication. Black people can be racist too. But in the technical definition is a downing of a race for the benefit of another race. And long story short.
Okay, 206.
Does that system exist? Yes, sir. Well, yeah. Can I be heard?
Yeah, go ahead, 206.
Okay. Just a question for 317. Yes, sir. Who's laughing? Somebody laughing at me on the phone?
317.
Go ahead. Let's ignore me.
Okay.
Let's ignore me.
Okay. All right. So your definition, one group or one race that downs another race. Do you see this downing anywhere in the world that you can point to? No, let's not do world. Let's say in the United States.
No, you can say the world. I'm talking about the world. You can say
no. So have I, but I'm limiting it to the United States. Do you see this racism as you've finally defined? Do you see that here in the United States? And if so, give me a couple examples.
Yes, I definitely see it. A good example would be I have a friend right now who went in the house of another friend and they're facing 25 years. Yet there's a white boy who did the same thing, and his friends did the same thing to another white boy a couple years ago, and they only got probation and house arrest.
I wasn't clear in my question, and that was my fault. I apologize for that. The same question, but I was interested in what you personally have experienced. That's what I'm asking. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
What racism I've experienced? I'm black. I'm a black man with dreads and 6 foot. What you mean with racism?
So then you should have at least a couple examples for us then, right? That you can give us?
I've been stopped by the police for no reason, asked if I got dope on me. I've been stayed. I've been followed through stores. I've been not got a job because I was black. I could tell. I've been, he's aggressive. We're threatened by him, and I haven't did anything. I've experienced all that.
I see. Yeah. So have I. Unfortunately.
And
so I'm with you in that boat. Say again, I'm interested.
still
And you
seeing
still what?
45 countries. So did that stop me from being great? No, it did not. And that is my point. We can complain about it. We can march about it.
Okay,
or
when
we can
you,
do something about it.
brother 317, when you say great, what do you mean by great? Define great in your eyes.
Great is doing anything that you dreamed of doing that you accomplished. That would be being great. Following your dreams, treating others with respect, living and being remembered for being great. Making others around you great, making everybody else around you better, loving people, being respectful to people. That would be, to me.
Well, let me ask you a question, and I'm not trying to be funny. What makes you so great?
Yes, sir.
What makes you so great?
Well, I wouldn't necessarily. I would say from a personal, I would say it's great because I followed my dreams. I left the hood. I sold dope. I gang banged, carried guns. I did all that, and now I live a completely different life. I have no kids. I'm not a statistic. I've never been to jail. I'm not a statistic. So that to me, in my definition, would be great because everybody else around me, all my other friends from where I'm from, are either dead or in jail. There's only like 4 of us out of maybe 100. So that to me is great.
Okay.
And you might not agree with me.
Okay. No. I'm gonna ask you a question. Now, you said you've been shot 6 times. You said you've been a gangbanger. Don't you think that's a statistic?
Yeah, but I was young.
I'm just asking. I'm just asking. So,
yeah. But I'm not a statistic now, no, because I've never been to jail. My father was locked up, but I had my grandfather,
okay.
And then I had church people around me, and I was able to change my life at a very young age. I was around 19 when I started going to church.
Okay.
But from the time I was 9 to the time I was about 17, I was outside. I just changed my life faster. So when I hear somebody saying you're a product of your environment, no, you chose to make those choices. You chose to go out and rob at 20, 25, 30. You chose to sell dope to your community. You chose, the government brought the dope in, but they can't make you sell it to your people.
That's the same thing I say.
All right. Now listen to this.
So,
hold it, brother 317. So when you got shot 6 times, can I ask you what happened? And why did they shoot you? Was it a mistake or mistaken identity? What was it?
Yeah. Well, I can't really talk about too much, but it's just these things happen to me, and it was a thing of my past, and I'm still living some of those things now.
So do you think it's because of where you live, it happened to you? More so if you was living where you living at right now, it probably would have never happened. Do you think that as well?
Because no, and I'll tell you why, brother. It's really up to the person. So I have a younger brother, right?
No. I'm talking about you. I'm focused on you, not your brother. You.
Hear what I'm saying? This has a lot to do with what we're saying. Just listen. Allow me, like you allow everyone.
I want to focus on you. Go ahead. Not your brother. Testimony. I want your testimony.
Answers your question though. So when my little brother, my mom got out the hood at a certain age. So my little brother didn't grow up around those things. My little brother has been in prison his entire life. He's robbed. He's broken houses. He just got out of prison. He's now 32 and he just did his last bid. And this is the longest that he's been out since he was about 17. And he's not from the hood. My mom moved up into the suburbs. So no, it doesn't matter where you're from if you have the choice to be that.
Okay.
It's up in how you raise. My mom to do a good enough job protecting him.
Okay.
Because my mom was hood herself.
Okay, I'm asking you again. Let me go back to the initial question. You've been shot 6 times. Do you think that the community that you live in now, if you was in that community that you live in right now, do you believe that you would have been shot 6 times?
No.
Okay. Okay, that's all I want. That's the answer I wanted. Now, because you got shot in the bad area, do you consider yourself being a victim because of you live in these areas that made you a victim of gun violence because you was living in a certain area? Or is it because
No.
of some decision that you made?
It was the decisions that I made because it was kids there that made it out that never got in any trouble. They was in the same neighborhood I was in.
Okay. Now, I'm gonna give you an example. I want you to hold up. Marcus, come on the line, Marcus. Marcus, are you there?
Okay.
Marcus, let me question you a little bit. Where was you born and raised, Marcus?
Inglewood.
Where did you go to high school at?
Well, I didn't go to high school in Inglewood, but I went in another rough neighborhood over there where the Latin Kings be at in South Shore. I went to Bogan.
Okay. How long did you live in Inglewood when you was a youngster?
All my life.
Okay.
All my life. I recently moved out of Inglewood 10 years ago.
Okay. Hold it, brother. I'm doing the interview now. I'll let you talk. I'm talking to Marcus. I'm talking to Marcus.
You want to ask him something?
No. Hold it. I'm the host now. I gave you your shine. Let me talk to Marcus now. Marcus, when was you arrested?
No, I was never arrested, but I was pulled over and profiled by the police because I was black. Stopped numerous of times. Bogus traffic tickets written on me because they was trying to get something on me and told me, you just ain't got caught yet. I just never wanted their street life or their gang life. But I grew up in Inglewood. My mother didn't have me locked up in the house like some people would like to think. No, I stayed out to 12 or 1 o'clock at night. But she knew where I was at, and she knew that I wasn't going to go on the street because that just wasn't me. That just wasn't my character. I never understood the gang life or the street culture because I came from a supportive family also.
Let me ask you a question.
My mother and my auntie
Marcus,
raised
hold
their
it.
boys
You're going too
in the
fast.
heart of Inglewood.
Marcus, you're going too fast. You're going too fast, Marcus. I want let me do the quiet. You know what I'm saying? You just now. When did you start selling drugs?
I never sold drugs.
Okay,
but
good.
I saw people selling drugs.
Okay, my point. Do you have any children?
No, not at the moment.
Okay, another question. Were you involved in church when you was living in Inglewood?
Yes, but I wasn't a church goer every Sunday, but I went to church because I was taught to believe in the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, and that's where I found my peace. Okay.
Now let me ask you another question. Now I know where you live. I've been to your house. What's the difference between the area you live in now and Inglewood?
Well, the people that live on my block, they're more of an affluent people. A lot of them are retired police officers, politicians, and professors that teach at Chicago State. The area as a whole, you have a lot of affluent people that live out here. And the difference is the way they keep their property up. Not saying that the people in the neighborhood that I grew up in did not care, but it's a big difference political-wise. The city seems to care about certain areas more so than they do certain other areas. And when you live in a neighborhood like this, it gives you hope when you can look out your front door and you don't see abandoned houses that might be abandoned, but they don't look abandoned. And the lawns are well manicured and you see black people in them. It gives you hope. But also, Martin, again, I'm not going down Inglewood. There were some nice blocks in Inglewood, but the news over-reports and don't report on those nice blocks. They only report on the violence.
Okay. Did you finish high school?
Yes. Okay. And went on to do some college.
Okay. Now, do you call it, you lived in Inglewood practically all your life?
Right.
Would you call it a success for you not to live in Inglewood, live in another neighborhood? Would you consider that being successful?
No.
Why?
No, because you can get robbed or killed in any neighborhood. It's more killing go on out here than Inglewood could ever dream of. It's more killing go on, and I've been on the north side. It's more killing go on the north side and in the richest parts of this city than the ghettos could ever dream of.
Mm-hmm. Now, I want to make a statement. Thank you, Mr. Marcus. I want to make a statement. Now, you don't have to be a thug to get shot. Y'all know y'all talking to the crime chaser. And I had a speech, I think, early this morning, I believe. And I was telling people, because you work and you civilize and you go to church and you don't bother nobody, you can be a victim of gunshot violence. So I don't want, because you are a victim of gunshot violence, doesn't mean that you was a thug, doesn't mean that you was out there selling drugs or doing anything wrong. It could happen. Sometimes if they can't get to your people, they'll get to the cousin, the uncle, or the father. That's the type of gun culture that we live in. So my point is saying that to my brother 317. I don't know what type of lifestyle you live. I don't know why you got shot 6 times. It could have been because something your brother done. I don't know. And you don't want to discuss it. And I understand. That's scars. Those are things that scars. That's personal. You are a true victim of gunshot violence. And I thank God that you're here to even talk about it. But it does not give you stripes to say you're a thug because you got shot 6 times. Doesn't give you stripes. You know?
Who said that?
No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. It does. You didn't say that, but I'm just saying it doesn't give you stripe. So if that go for anybody that's listening, just listening.
I just make,
you know, because you live because you live in a certain area, a bad area, and you get shot, that doesn't make you a thug or a bad person at all. You have people.
What is a thug?
I mean, you I'm going by what you said you was, a thug. You said you was a thug. You never said you was a thug.
Don't talk like that. No, I've never. No, don't glorify that.
206. 206.
Yes, sir.
Did I hear him say that he was a thug when he was young, when he got shot? Now, if I'm wrong.
Not only did you hear it.
Okay.
Not only did you hear it, I heard it, and people in the chat are talking about it as well.
So I said I was a thug because I got shot.
No, I didn't.
No, it wasn't because you got shot.
Thank you, Sarge. Thank you. But he did say it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to rewatch. I'm definitely gonna rewatch that because I don't remember saying that. That don't sound like something I was saying.
Now, if I'm wrong,
if women I doggone got it in with it, I don't remember. So it can happen.
It can happen. Listen, hey, 317. 317.
I'm in the back, and I'll put this stuff on a later basis. I'm willing to say I didn't say that.
Okay.
Go back and watch.
Hey, 317. Now, if I'm wrong, I apologize. If I'm wrong.
No, it's okay. I never said that. But
Okay, because somebody said it in the chat. They said it in the chat.
Yeah, I never said talking about it. That's not how I.
And they're doing nothing but listening.
I want to say what I want to say. I do want to ask some questions though, right? Because technically, you can be from the hood, but not from the hood. Like technically, little Timmy's from the hood, but he sit on the porch. Timmy went outside. He sit on the porch. He did right. He had his parents. He went to school. He did right. He's from the hood, right? So people who aren't from certain lifestyles don't understand the mindset. So I really think certain things shouldn't be spoken about because some people don't understand the mindset that's in the community. You just see it. Oh yeah, this person got shot. This person got shot. But y'all don't know what really goes on the inside and what's making these brothers stay together like that. So yeah. A person could be from Inglewood, but if you sit on the porch in Inglewood, technically, I mean, you're from the hood, but that's not a lifestyle. I mean, like nobody's going to bother you because you're not even out.
Not true. Not true. If you go to school in Inglewood, not true.
No.
Help him out, Sarge. Help him out,
Sarge.
Help him out. Help him out, Sarge.
Check it out. Come on, bro.
You're shot, and you're not doing that.
Oh my goodness!
You're not going to just beat the game fight and get shot and the chances of that happening is low. It can happen. Don't get me wrong.
Bruh. Oh my goodness. See, there we go.
It's very low. How many people have been shot on this?
He who does not want to listen is not willing to learn.
You can't tell me talking and then say I'm not listening. So you got.
He asked me to talk. Martin asked me to talk.
I was not finished, and I'm going to finish what I say because I'll never let me.
Whose show is it?
I'm still not.
That's a good question.
So
whose show is it?
So as I was saying, just because somebody's from Inglewood, if they sit on the porch, nobody's going to bother that person. But if he was outside putting in work in some type of way, then a person can say where they are from. Just because you are in a neighborhood doesn't mean you are from.
Okay, you said that already. Okay, brother. Hold it right there. Go ahead, Sarge. You said that already.
Now, if I may, first and foremost, I didn't know Marcus was a fellow Boilermaker. Purple and gold, baby. Purple and gold.
Oh, you from Purdue?
Yeah, no, not Purdue. Bowen.
Bowen.
Bowen Boilermaker. 2900 East 89th Street. Yeah, I went there too.
Bessemer Park and all that.
Right. Now, check it out. As an Inglewood, let me give you a little story about something that happened on the 4th of July, 1966, when I was 3 years old. It was a mass shooting on the opposite block that I lived on. My brother, a partner of mine that I hang out with down here, okay, his mom, he was in the womb at the time. His mom was one of the victims. This guy named Wolf was a victim. Kat, another female that was a friend of theirs, was a victim. There's about 8 people got shot. And where were they? Sitting on the porch. Were anybody drug dealers? No. In Inglewood. So you don't say that we're sitting on the porch and this, bruh. Anything can happen to anybody at any given time. The woman I used to be married to, son was shot 6 times on 57th and Emerald. Him and his buddy, some 13-year-old trying to get his stripes, ran from between houses, ran from between houses, blasting. Okay? And you know, that's a hellified way to be the new sergeant someplace and a message come to your unit saying, you got to go on emergency leave because your son's been shot 6 times. Your stepson, that is. You know, that ain't how you meet all your new people. It's like, well, damn, where they come from? You know what I'm saying? So a lot can happen. And he wasn't even from Inglewood. He's from Chatham. Okay? So anything can happen to anybody in whatever said impoverished area. Okay, they used to call me Len the Nerd in Inglewood. Now you know you can't be you can't be doggone BDGD when you are Len the Nerd. Okay?
Nobody either of that.
So just because you're not in a certain lifestyle and you just see it, by no means does that mean a person don't understand the motivation behind it, especially if you know people that's in it and other people, they are trying to doggone persuade you to step in the same mud hole. You could make this much. See this here? I ain't got to ask my mama for no money when I want to go and do this. Because, see, this dude gave me this product, and when I sell it for him, he give me this much money because what? The youngins are going to face less time than adult jail time. So, yeah, I could have been a kid out there slanging dope for some grown-up that didn't want to do that adult time. But, no, everybody got choices. Everybody has choices. So, you know, and when they're talking about with the racism thing and this and that. Okay, my experiences with racism. 1999, that was one. And then I got to think from there. So I'm 62 years old. I know definitely I had one situation where it was racism, 1 out of 52 years of life. And that was in 1999.
206. Help Sarge out. Hold on, Sarge. Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop
So
it.
go ahead.
Stop it,
Yeah,
Sarge.
let the next person
206.
roll with
Did you hear what he said?
Yes, sir.
Did you hear exactly what Sarge just said?
Sarge, he just said that he had racial experience
One
back
time.
in 1956, one experience back in 1943. What was it, son? Yeah. I'm just teasing. Come on now, I'm teasing.
I know. Yeah, it was because I was on my way to the Korean War. Yeah.
So you only had one experience, huh? You only had one experience?
One experience that I recall, yeah.
Sarge.
Well, that's good.
Go ahead, 206. Go ahead.
Well, no, that's all I have.
No. Okay,
know,
Sarge, you telling me out of all the years you serve in military, you never had a racial experience in the military?
The only racial experience I had in the military was being denied promotion and advancement, and that's when I had an all-black chain of command.
Okay. Now,
what year was that? Between 2004, I'm giving you the years, between 2004 and when I left to go to the 101st Airborne in 2006, I left.
Okay.
And they thought I was doomed. Oh, you finna go over there, them good old boys. You going to Clan-Tucky. Not only did I go to Clan-Tucky, I came back promoted twice. Hard stripes on. You made sergeant? Yes. Real quick, too. Why? Because I wasn't around y'all hating, don't want to see anybody go up the ladder unless they kissing y'all ass.
Okay. All right, people.
And that was at Fort Stewart.
Okay. We're going to leave it right.
Fort Stewart is known to be the black man's military base. Out of all the bases in the United States, Fort Stewart is where you want to be if you black.
Yeah.
But not if your ass is light-skinned.
Sarge, I got a childhood.
You light-skinned, you dog meat.
Sarge, I got a childhood friend that's on this live right now. We grew up together. He's been in the military for 28 years straight. One day I'm going to get him a call in and talk some experience. One day I'm going to get him a call in. He's in the chat right now. I'm going to get him a call in one time. And I'm quite sure that he can tell us some experiences that he had in the military. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not talking against the military. If a military works for a young man, I'm not. I'm just wanting,
I know that, Mark.
Okay,
Martin, what I'm saying is this. My life experience is totally different. Now, why other people had so many experiences of racism in their life, I don't know. Was I ignoring anything that I thought or saw was racist? No, it wasn't happening. And I had to apologize to somebody once for accusing them of racism because I didn't understand the rank structure. Because it was always the lower privates out here sweeping at the end of the day, and all of the lower privates happen to be all the new ones that came in that were black. And I'm like, why is it always the black sweeping and cleaning up? What's with these white boys? It's like, what's your rank and what's their rank? Oh.
Okay.
So now I look stupid as hell.
Okay.
See? I look stupid. I had to apologize to somebody because I'm like, oh, damn, I'd have called the man a racist and made a whole big something out of nothing. Those are the rules.
All right.
You know
all right, Sarge, we in right there. 206. Real quick, and I'm gonna give you the last word. I need you to explain racism hid in plain sight.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Hid in plain sight. Yeah, it is, man. And,
question.
I'll do this for you. This is where I see it hidden in plain sight. Anytime I turn on the TV, go to the movies, or open up the YouTube,
tell the truth and shame the devil.
Some of the worst racism is right there in our entertainment. A lot of it is right there in the news. You got black folks doing this and black folks doing that, and the whites are the members of the dominant society, are some of the most criminally, if not the most criminally inclined people that ever walked on North America, but you hardly hear anything about it. And a good example would be Hurricane Katrina. we was raping women and we was raping babies and we was killing people in there and eating each other and had us in pots and boiling them and everything. And none of that was true. And that's not an exception. That's the norm. Another hidden in plain sight is some of the laws, like the crack and the powder cocaine and the crack laws. When those laws were written, people didn't really talk about it until it equaled into long prison sentences for you know who, and lesser prison sentences for them. So racism, in my opinion, can hide anywhere. That's what Neely Fuller has said. If somebody's got some background noise, you might want to mute your line if you don't mind. And I'll say this and I'll be quiet because I know we're getting to the end of the show, but you know, racism can be difficult to prove. You know it when you feel it, when you see it, experience it. But if you want to go into court or go into an office and point a finger at somebody, like Sarge was saying, you better have proof. And the racists made sure that you don't have no proof. So you got to be careful because, in my opinion, racism does hide in plain sight. It's right there, no doubt.
Yeah, we're not hiring.
That can be one.
Really?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. You know.
One. But check it out.
Like I said, I've
seen
it. I don't ignore it's there.
Sorry. Hold on.
Yeah, go ahead.
A lot of it,
I'm sorry.
a cold one is property value. Do you know that the police, wait a minute, the local police, I'm going to say this, I'm going to shut up, I promise y'all. But the local police,
you on a roll. You cooking.
Sarge, hold on. The police make reports to the Justice Department via the FBI. And a lot of these reports on arson, assault, break-ins, breaking and entering, rape, murder, shootings, this affects property values. Do you think, and I've got a report on my computer now I've been meaning to read, do you think that local law enforcement and major municipalities are telling the truth about the crime that's going on in Palatine, Rolling Meadows, Naperville, Glencoe, Highland Park? But they sure will do it in Woodlawn and South Shore and Hyde Park. They'll do it up and down 7th Street. And what they're going to do, they're going to destroy your property values. Because what you don't know, 15, 20 years from now, they have investors that's going to come in and take all that property from
you. It's called gentrification.
That's it. But the gentrification goes through a process, and we're subjected to that. Listen, is Berwyn or Schaumburg, are they going through gentrification right now? Private investigators called me on the phone 2 months ago because they are concerned that I'm an heir of my grandaunt that died in 2001. Why did they do that? Because she's got property worth $480,000 that's in tax default. It's in tax default because she died years ago. She didn't pay the taxes. So the law firm, the state of Illinois, said you got to contact the heirs to that property before you can sell it to real estate developers. Well, this fool went and found me, and I'm kind of estranged from the family. I'm kind of way off on the side, and claimed that they couldn't find the actual heirs when the actual heirs are right there and were never contacted.
Okay, we're going to leave it right there, people. We're going to leave it right there. Thank you. I didn't know it was that late, 1 o'clock in the morning. Man, it was a great show. Again, another great show.
Hey, Mark, you should have started with 206. He was cooking.
He was cooking today, I know.
He was cooking. That's how it should have started off with him. He was cooking, bro. You was cooking.
Yeah.
I'm talking to my buddy 317. I love talking to my buddy 317.
But you know what?
What's up, buddy? How you doing, man?
But 317. But 317.
That's why
pick up some history books. Pick up some black books, man. I guarantee you, from the 50s to 60s all the way on up, man. Matter of fact, I'm gonna give you one book by Michelle Alexander. That is a great book to read. You know, talk about the drugs, the war on drugs and all that. It'll break down. She got stats in there and everything. It will break down how things are done through the government. You got COINTELPRO, how the government watched Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and all that. You know, it's a lot going on. It's hid, and I don't want you to get confused because a person got a big house and all. That's nothing. What good is a house if the person that's manufacturing them, he the greatest? If he get, like white people, the brother said it, their face is on the money. They can decide tomorrow. I think, oh, my phone hung up. I don't know if I hung up. They can decide tomorrow. Let me see, my phone hung up. Yeah, they did hang up. I'm sorry, people, my phone hung up. But they could decide tomorrow if the dollar is worth 10 or 20 cents. But I'm going to get out of here, people. My phone just hung up. So thank you so much, people. I got to get out of here.
You already know what it is.
Good night, y'all.
Live,
Good night.
uncut,
Good night.
unedited.